This man not
that were in Nigeria yesterday, where they had Counterterrorism Summit. So tonight, I've got loads of nice stuff that we will actually be at, important stuff, right? I've got a boring part. So we are going to start from the boring part. What Koolu told the world, those behind the insecurity in Nigeria. It's not nothing new. Share this. According to Nuhu Ribadu, fewer Nigerians have been killed under Tifnumbu compared to under Bukwari. Also, there is a TV presenter who happened to be like an anchor of that their Charade meeting or summit, who actually told these African heads of state and their delegations that since Tifnumbu became your president, there has never been a single terror attack or terrorist attack in Nigeria. Also, this guy has been arrested. Adis Sirika has now been confirmed arrested by the EFCC. By the way, thank you so much for joining me. Just all you have to do, very simple. Hear the broadcast, like the broadcast, get yourself in tune with what we are going to be discussing tonight, and leave the rest for me. I will make it worth it. Hear this. Now we start. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us from or watching from. It is Maiyegun live. According to Tifnumbu, the reason why insecurity in Nigeria seems to have become an impossible problem to solve. He was meeting some African delegates and some African heads of states that were in Nigeria to discuss what they can do against the spread and increasing acts of terror on the continent, especially West Africa. So in their conversation, Tifnumbu being their host was the one to address the entire summit. So we are going to start with that. Then we're going to get to more interesting stuff tonight. So let's start with that. This is Koolu and what he told the world about the insecurity in Nigeria. Listen.
Of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki, President of the ECOWAS Commission, Umar Ture, Under Secretary General of the United Nations, Office of the Counterterrorism, Valmin Volcano, Chair of the Nigerian Governors Forum, present, Minister of and Government Representative here present. The host security efforts of Nigeria in National Security Advisor, Malam Nuru Ibadu. Well done for your coordination. Members of the Diplomatic Corps and head of international organizations, esteemed delegates members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with deep respect and appreciation for your commitment to ending this threat to the peace and well-being of our continent and its people, I thank you for honoring our invitation to participate in this high-level counterterrorism meeting. In joining us today, you have demonstrated your understanding of the urgency of the current situation and the priority it must be given above all matters. Again, I thank you for your valuable presence and your contributions to fighting the scourge of terrorism. Terrorism snaps at the very fabric of the tranquil, prosperous, and just society we seek to build for ourselves and our children. Terror cannot coexist in the same space as democracy and good governance. Just as darkness and light cannot endure in the same room at the same time. This violent threat seeks to frighten the farmer from his fields, children from their schools, women from the marketplace, and families from their very homes. It wants the city dwellers to cower and businesses to close. It craves despotism and suppression, not democracy and enlightened society. Its goal is to cause such an havoc that we doubt our democratic principles.
So I'm going to help you, all right? So that we don't have to listen to everything, okay? So that was his opening speech. Then he went on and on and on. Then apart from like pointing out the havoc that terrorism has wreaked or have wreaked in Nigeria. Then he got to this part.
Terrorism is becoming a greater threat as it perfects ways to continuously finance itself, recoup, resupply itself for its sinister mission. Not only does it kidnap people, it kidnaps precious resources, billions of dollars that legitimate government should be using to sculpt better society by providing education, healthcare, and food for its people, now go to pay for weapons and mayhem. Look at illegal mining that plagues so many of our nations today. Those who think illegal mining has no connection with the financing of terrorism are surely mistaken. The international community has both the moral and legal obligation to help in this cause because it is outside money, not African money, that fuels the illegal operations. We shall be knocking on this door of the international community to answer the call for justice, peace, and fair play. Key to our collective efforts against terrorism is the need for a fully operational regional counter-terrorism center. This center will serve as a hub for intelligence sharing, operational coordination, and capacity building throughout our region. Additionally, we must strengthen existing counter-terrorism structures, such as the Regional Intelligence Fusion Unit, RIFU, Abuja. The African Center for Study and Research on Terrorism and in Algiers, and the Committee of Intelligence and Security Services of Africa in Addis Ababa. All of these bodies must work hard together to continue constantly to change a problem. A regional standby force that includes tackling terrorism as part of its mandate must not be abandoned. I am mindful of the funding, legal and logistical complexities that face the proper establishment of such a force. However, with a
again, let me save you the agony of having to listen to all of that. Okay, so you heard him. It is not African money. It is not Nigeria money that is funding terrorism. They wrote that nonsense for him and he read it out. So if Nigeria at this point is, or the president of Nigeria is saying that from their intelligence gathering, the outside money is the one funding the terrorism, whereby in that same Nigeria, where terrorism has become an industry, a multi-billion-dollar industry, the security agents in Nigeria have failed not only to find the sponsor of terrorism, but to cut their funding, mostly coming from illegal mining, like Koolu said. But not only that, the act of terrorism unleashed on Nigerians, which also includes kidnapping for ransom, these are localized industry. Maybe now the external interest here is the exchange of the resources with guns, and the terrorists they have access, they have money, and they also have natural resources of the areas where the people have been either killed or sent to the IDP camps, abandoned communities, abandoned areas, ungoverned areas. The Fulani terrorists in particular, who have taken more lands and more communities through violence, it has been confirmed that most of the areas where this terrorism is so strong, or where an attempt is being made to overrun as we speak, they are mainly because of alleged, suspected natural resources under those lands. So here, the terrorists in Nigeria have access to billions, hundreds of billions of naira, Nigerian naira, that they collect for ransom. At the same time, they have access to, God knows, unlimited natural resources of the areas they have also covered. So how are they paying for their guns? There you have your answer. But Koolu said they were going to knock at the door of these foreign countries. It is just a faboo. It is a pure goose chase. Just word salad. No substance, no nothing. To make it sound kind of like it's making any sense, or I don't even think it made any sense. Number one, you haven't listed the supposed countries or foreign money. I mean, you have to say something. We have 2 countries in Europe. We have 3 countries in Asia. Now, that is how close enough you can let people, including those countries, to know the activities of their citizens or maybe the activities of their representatives in Nigeria. It's all just words and words. I want you to listen to this part, okay?
They are most urgent national security threat. Our counterterrorism capabilities have been enhanced through enactment of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, establishing the National Counterterrorism Center, NCTC. We have and will continue to take bold steps in safeguarding our nation and the wider region. Dedicated to coordinating and implementing counterterrorism strategies, the NCTC significantly enhances our capacity to detect, prevent, and respond to terrorist threats. The center has become a platform fostering greater collaboration amongst stakeholders and promoting synergy in our approach to fighting terrorism. Similarly, our security forces continue to demonstrate great courage, dedication, and bravery in fighting against terrorism. I salute them. Often at great personal risk, I am grateful to the selfless work and sacrifice of these patriotic men and women. They are the best of the best. I must also mention the ongoing need to halt the proliferation of small arms and light weapons on this continent. No one state can solve this problem for itself. It requires continuous and concerted action by all of us. We need to reposition our regional organizations and build the capacity of our national institutions to effectively address this element of terrorism and violent extremism. Nigeria is committed to working with our regional partners to strengthen our arms control measures, enhance border security, and disrupt the illicit trafficking network that fuel terrorism and organized crimes. In closing, let me say that we must make the meeting historic and productive. We must show our respective populations that we, as leaders, we must do more than speak nice words. We must live here with real results. As leaders, let us show our people that their safety and welfare is paramount. May this conference be succinct and to the point. Let us keep.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope. We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Again, I told you, let us start with the boring parts so that I won't be somebody who just won't kill your joy when you get into the more interesting part of the conversation. Somebody said they despised these guys, the way they lie with boldness, no remorse, no blinking. Like it turns them from inside to be like. Now you heard him. you have the best of the best military that respond to terrorist attack so fast. When did the Nigerian military respond to any terrorist attack? When? But, you know, the summit that was started on lies. Somebody said, those who are doing national security will not get electricity. Is that not the first lie they are telling you? You have no electricity. 2024, you have no electricity. And you are talking about national security. And some guys are, you know, in their usual big man style. They are telling you, we are doing a great job. We are working on it. So they started the summit with a lie from a lady, disappointingly. Anyway, maybe not so disappointing.
That since the arrival of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there has not been any terrorist attack in Nigeria. There have been. Indeed, it is so, compared to several other years when the attacks were quite heavy. At the moment, what we have is that the president is deploying the military apparatchik of Nigeria and all intelligence and security heads to ensure that the fight in the forest against insurgents, terrorists, and those who will not give Nigeria peace is intense, and therefore there is degradation of the various terrorist cells around Nigeria ongoing. That is an ongoing exercise, but as far as the terrorist attack is
nuisance lele.
A woman, she stood there and ribadu like a gamma lizard. It's ongoing. We are doing everything to dislodge all the terrorists. Yes, there has never been any terrorist attack under Tinubu. Abba. There has been, you see, under Bokuwari, there were reported, confirmed 21 cases of mass kidnapping, especially of school children. That was under Bokuwari. Under Tinubu, in the last 10, 11 months alone, there has been over 7 reported kidnappings and mass kidnappings, which also includes the children, school children. But you see these guys, at a point they will tell you that it wasn't Tinubu, right, that destroyed your Naira further, or it wasn't Tinubu that took your Naira to dollar to over 1,000, nearly 2,000 Naira. They are going to say that to you soon. And this is exactly what is going to be a slight difference from what you had under Bokuwari. These ones, they will talk about Nigeria, and you will be like, are they talking about this same place? Where are they? Or another Nigeria? Right. Listen to Ribadu. I remember when Femi Oponu Adesina said that under Bokuwari, only 30,000 people, this was in 2019, only 30,000 people were killed. But under Jonathan, more than 45,000 people were killed. There is no evidence of that. But Femi Oponu Adesina went on their national TV in Nigeria, and he said that people are not giving Bokuwari the credit enough. That despite the issue of insecurity as it has become, that under Bokuwari call, now only 30,000 people then kill. But under Jonathan, it's more than that. So since Bokuwari's number never reached Jonathan home, you are supposed to give Bokuwari credit. Similar thing that this madman, Rebadu, had to say.
Violence, like this weapon. We are working, and I think we've done fairly well. One of the things that we have seen as an indication that things are beginning to look different is the cost of, for example, AK-47. Last year, it used to be less than 1 million. In fact, it was going down to like less than 500,000. Now it's 5 million, which means it's not available. We are mopping them. We are taking them out. We are destroying them. We do not just take, but we destroy. And a lot of this work is ongoing. A lot of it people don't really see. But behind, a lot of work is ongoing. And we salute our armed forces, our security forces, our governors who are doing extremely well. But a lot of difference is taking place in Nigeria. And that is the reason why, I can assure you, in the last 1 year, close to 1 year, we have reduced death as a result of violent crimes and use of arms, these weapons we are talking about, by over 90%. Over 90%. Average, we used to record 2,600 or so a month. Now we do have less than 200 average. It's an indication work is we are getting results for the work done. And it's a continuation, the beginning. Clearly, violence like this weapon. We are working, and I think
Nuisance lele.
DA, that is Nigeria National Security Advisor. Mind you, the position is illegal, by the way. Okay? It is not in their bogus constitution, just so you know. Okay? It is a political office created by the people destroying people. PDP created that position. It is completely illegal. But his appointment is to advise the president on security. But they have created the position to make him or make whoever occupied the position very powerful. That the service chiefs, the police, all of them, they report to him indirectly. Do you understand? That guy was the former EFCC chairman in Nigeria that investigated the druggy Numbu and publicly said he is the greatest, the most corrupt and deadlier politician he ever investigated. That he is like this massive tree of corruption that is also include other criminality, drug dealing, money laundering, like real underworld. Now, if he was to be uprooted, more than 90% of those that are the role model to some of you are Shiri, Yoruba Ponus, they will end up in jail or facing death. That's what Ribadu said about Tifnumbu. But today is the security advisor to Tifnumbu. And see, we are working. See, AK-47 before used to be 1 million naira or even 500,000. But now it is over 5 million naira. People just don't see it. People are not seeing that we are working. But we are working. Yes, we are. For example, the number of people that died in this time of the year, they used to be 2,500. But now it's just less than 200. He's lying. But he was there grinning, like, looking around like, and those are the people advising Tifnumbu on the path. Okay? But let us move on. From their counterterrorism to counter-corruption. I don't know if you have been following their news, but I have. But just for the starter, the EFCC chairman, which is Olukayode, granted the press release or kind of addressed the press to answer questions and all that because Yeye Bello had told the press that, that the reason why the EFCC is coming after him is because they are using the EFCC chairman to hunt him for opposing Tinubu's ambition to be president. However, the Olukayode and his team decided to just kind of put face and voice behind the case against Yeye Bello. Prior to this, yesterday, Yeye Bello was able to mobilize some lawyers. Some lawyers, they call themselves, demanding for the EFCC to back down because this is a witch hunting of a supposed political enemy. I do not have a clue how APC, Egbekegbe and APC, Egbekegbe, will now become enemies in their own government, but we all know shall know. So these guys were out, remember, yesterday. Listen to them.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight on. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. It is glaring that the EFCC will soon become a shadow of its former self and lose its credibility if it doesn't discontinue from towing a path that will destroy the very fabrics of our rule of law and democracy. The same Nigerians are beginning to ask what cause exactly does the EFCC have to grind with the ex-governor of Kogi State that it was willing to risk its credibility for. It has become the talk of many in quarters. We are very careful not to conclude a haste that the EFCC allowed itself to become a tool used by desperate politicians to advance their war of interests. The only succor is that the current president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a leader who gave his all to sustain our democracy. The president, at a point, became a victim of political witch hunt. We recall that the EFCC and the CCB were at different occasions used to harass and threaten him into giving up his cherished progressive ideas. It is our hope that the president himself, being a victim of such retrogressive practice, moved to ensure that nobody under his watch uses institutions of government to harass and threaten political opponents. We have equally submitted petitions to the National Judicial Council and Mr. President asking that they use their good offices to call the EFCC to order and stop any form of abuse and disobedience of court orders.
Nuisance lele.
And they claimed they were lawyers. All right? And they said it is political witch hunting. There are some political enemies of Yeye Bello. They were the ones trying to use the EFCC to hunt him. So they've declared him wanted. They have also given his description to the immigration, the customs, the police. Whoever sees Yeye Bello should call the police, they say. So the EFCC had to come out today, and that is their chairman, who now told us what we already knew. All right? That Yeye Bello stole 80.2 billion. Now they have started putting some extra to say it is actually 84 billion naira that he stole. But they said most of this money were not stolen until just few months to the end of his tenure, 8-year tenure as governor of Kogi State. Kogi State is one of the poorest states in Nigeria. And under Yeye Bello, it became even poorer. When the COVID struck and the people were dying of hunger, part of the riot that enveloped the aftermath of EndSARS was when the people discovered that the same Yeye Bello, who had by then failed to pay the salaries of the Kogi state workers. There was even a time when they gave bailout money to Kogi states, 20.8 billion naira. Now, you see this bailout money, it was a loan. So it was given like Bokwari, if you remember, when Bokwari ordered Emefiole Central Bank to give 600 billion naira loan to the states who were unable to, to clear the debt of unpaid salary, unpaid pension. I'm talking about 2016, 2017. Right. Bokwari first said the Paris Club refund that they gave to Nigeria, that was that Nigeria overpaid their own part of repayment, the loan repayment, when Obasanjo cancelled Nigeria debt to zero, right? So they said Nigeria overpaid. So they returned the money to Nigeria. When it was time to share the money was about 900 billion naira. So Bokwari's federal government took about 500 or 450. And the Bokwari's government said 400 or so should be shared to all the states in Nigeria. This was in 2016. In 2017, they started holding him that most of them collected the money. They did not pay salary or clear any gratuity. So Bokwari ordered Emefiole again to make provision for 600 billion, but this time it's going to be a loan. If you want it, come, tell us how much is the total unpaid salary in your state, and the money will be given to you. Go and clear them, but we are going to be deducting it from your allocation. How many of you remember that? Right. Yeye Bello collected first 12 billion and another 8 billion. 20.8 billion was the money that got to Kogi. Yeye Bello took this money and he just put it in a bank account, not under the Kogi state government, under a different name, and he fixed it so that he can take the interest later. Kogi workers were waiting for salary, they no see. First month, second month, they were hearing news that some other states were already clearing the backlog of their salaries and their pensions. But for Kogi, fishy, until the EFCC traced the money. They now froze the accounts. Now, so Yeye Bello ran mad. And here, the bank, they moved to freeze the account. Yeye Bello's bank, the bank that collided with Yeye Bello, they decided to quickly alert him. And guess what? Yeye Bello quickly moved the money. And they started saying, okay, they want to pay salary. They want to pay pensions in Kogi. But it was already it has already become an evidence of an investigation. Anyway, the EFCC have been after him since then. Under, who was there then? This guy, Magulutakruku. You remember him? We take it. Magulutakruku. From then to Bala. Is it Bala? That one that they... okay, it doesn't matter. You shall know what I'm talking about, right? All this, Yeye Bello enjoying immunity. Even it got so bad, by the way. I remember this too, okay? It got so bad that his partner in crime now, El Rufaya of Kaduna, the Kaduna Little Finger, when they were trying to get the Mr. Tata Yeye Bello back in, despite all of that failure, they had to kneel down for the Kogi people. I remember. It was a show. I remember. Begging Kogi people to forgive Yeye Bello. He will not do that again. He will pay your salaries. He will pay your pension. I can assure you, forgive him only for him to come back with the more lubricated dildo of consequences. You know, they said the dildo of consequences is well lubricated. Now everybody go collect. They actually knelt down for Kogi people to allow Yeye Bello to finish them. Indeed.
The progress recorded by the APC government under Governor Yeye Bello is more than what the PDP has tried to do in 13 years. Many people say Yeye Bello is young, that he has fought many people. For everyone that the governor has offended, I am asking all of you to forgive him. He is young. He is supposed to make mistakes. When you are young, you make mistakes, but you learn from them. On his behalf, I am kneeling down to beg all of you to forgive Yeye Bello if he has offended you. But he cares about the people of Kogi State. He cares about this state. He has brought progress to this state. He has brought young people into government. He has brought women into government. He has brought physical progress.
Of our greedy leaders. Oh, Thunder, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. Or join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their agenda. Our security agenda.
All of that was just to get Yeye Bello to deal with the Kogi people more. On the day that he left government, handed over power to his partner in crime, Ododo, who I just heard that is like a Fubara of Rivers. It was the accountant general near the, I don't know. Anyway, it was Yeye Bello's right-hand man. They denied the Kogi people the reward for their labor. Just because they wanted to live a life that they do not deserve. Put it that way. A woman, on the day Yeye Bello was leaving the government house, put up this display.
Tinubu is here now. I'm tired of hunger. 7 years, no salary. Tinubu, where are you? The country is 7 years, no salary. Bello, Abraham, I want to kill you. Bello, thief. 7 years. Bello, Abraham. Bello, thief. Bello, I've not been facing 7 years. I'm not carrying myself. Useless people. Who now don't come from Kogi with Abraham. 7 years of no salary. 7 years I've not been paid. Bello, Abraham. Bello, thief.
That was it. Just so you know that this guy, but he had his anger horns, like the people they always, give the word of naira notes like that, to sing his praises, to go out there and shout white lion, white lion. Now, this is what Olukayode had to say, giving an account of Yeye Bello that they are looking for and why. Do you mind?
Udo, what was this chief of staff? There's cashier, the government house cashier, the guy that was bringing the billions. I'm so passionate about the need for us to move forward in this country. A sitting governor, because he knows he's going, you move money. I mean, the particulars of offense is there. It's before court. Go and check it. Apply for our processes, please. You will get some of these particulars of offense there. Move money directly from government to bring the change. Use it to pay the child's school fee in advance. In advance. Dollars. How much? 70 what?
Yes. Total is over almost 800.
In dollars, yes. In dollars. $72,000 or thereabout. $720,000, sorry. $720,000 in advance. In anticipation that he was going to leave government house. In a poor state like Kogi. And you want me to close my eyes to that? Under the guise of saying I'm being used by who? At this stage of my life, used by who? By who? For crying out loud. I assumed office here. I didn't initiate the case. I edited the case file. I called for the case file. I called for the report. And I said, look, there are issues here. Do you know on my honor, I put a call across to him, which ordinarily I'm not supposed to do. Just to honor him as a governor, as a immediate past governor. Sir, there are issues. I've seen this case file. Can you just come? Let us clarify these issues. I'm under camera. He said, sir, I thank you, my brother. I know, but I can't come. There's one lady, I don't know what her name is, maybe a senator, that she learned she had set, she has surrounded the EFCC with over 100 journalists, to come and embarrass him and intimidate him and all kind of stuff. I said, okay, if that is your fear, I'm going to pass you through my own gate, special man's gate. You will come to my floor. We will accord you that respect. I will invite my operatives. They will come and interrogate you or interview in my own office. What could be more honorable than that? In my own office. To allay the fear. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know what he said? But can't they come to my village? That's what he told me. Can't they come to my village to come and say, I told you. He also got to, he sent a message to him. My head of the investigation sent a message to him. Some people say we are handling him, we are harassed. How about? Let's be fair on this. Look, we need the EFCC. We need this institution to survive. We need this institution to survive. I'm telling you. So many victims that we have wiped tears off their eyes. People that they have swindled and all of that. In their millions. How much are we going to say? Every day we keep recovering money for victims. Every day. In my 6 months, we have recovered close to 120 billion. Over 1,600 convictions. Udo, what? Was this involved, sir? There's cashier, the government.
Yeye, help us, oh. Help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. God should descend, oh, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today.
So that is the new Maja in town, speaking just like what you would love to hear. Right, I love that spirit. Catch him. He also said, by the way, that he will resign. If he has to resign, he will resign if Yeye Bello escape prosecution. So Yeye Bello now wrote back to the court that he is ready to attend the court. But EFCC must promise that they won't arrest him. But the EFCC is like, no, we are not promising anything. So Yeye Bello currently is pulling the last string to see if somebody is going to tell Olukayode, excuse me, to hold on. And Olukayode says if anybody tell us may back down and Yeye Bello escape prosecution, I be justice, he will resign. So Nasomi and Dino Canary Melaye come play that is one of his old tunes.
Do you know Yeye Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba? I know Yeye Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Do you know GYB máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba? We know GYB máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. Ìwọ Yaya, you Yaya, kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ? Kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ? Ẹni tí mo bẹ́ lórí tó ń ṣẹ̀nu wúyẹ́, kí ló tún kù tí ó sọ?
Nuisance lele.
Don't ever forget that. Dino is a nuisance. Okay? But there is something I want you to see now that you are here. It is the endless crisis of the Fulani terrorists in Enugu. The Undani people of Enugu State. You see, there is also something I want to also possibly remind us. Do you know that one of the reasons why the Fulani terrorists are kind of having a field day in so many vulnerable communities across the southern part of Nigeria and Middle Belt is because most of these communities, they are populated by elderly people who are mostly farmers. I'm talking about people living in small communities that are just like, you know, next to one another, kind of. The young people from these communities, majority of them have moved to the city or completely out of the state. So therefore, leading these old people, vulnerable people, to the mercy of the terrorists. One of such instances, that's what has been captured on camera, and some of you possibly have seen it. I'm bringing this to the larger audience, so that when we talk about the Fulani herdsmen, as well as the Fulani armed terrorists to the eastern part of Nigeria, or the western part of Nigeria, or even to the creek of the Niger Delta, sometimes to describe it could sound like an exaggeration if the experience is not really captured and brought to the larger audience like this. So I have one of such experiences, and I want to share that with you. So you would, whenever you hear the word, the invasion, the trespassing, and including the violence that is associated with trying to resist the murderous Fulanis in some of these communities. And to the Fulanis, one community after the other, one at a time. So if it's going to take them 100 more years, they can continue to take it one at a time. They start with the intimidation. Now, it is a technique that I've actually never really paid attention to until recently, that we look at the Fulani terrorists, and some of you are confused. Well, how can you call them Fulani terrorists? They only have cows now. Let's call them Fulani herdsmen, so that we can say the clashes. I mean, that makes sense, okay? Because it's like the clashes is this clashes is between the farmers whose farms the cows destroy and the cow owners. But it is more than that. Their cows are also part and parcel of their jihad. You see how sad it has also become that more than 70% of the cows that the Fulanis have, the Fulanis are moving about in southern Nigeria, they are owned by the southerners. mostly southern politicians, southern churches, southern, this or that, like that. Like they kind of, from the onset, they kind of like invite some of these would-be terrorists, the first batch, to come and help them man their cows. So it's like people we weren't born before. See them rubbing their body with petrol. Let's do it for them. So their cows, you can say majority of your politicians in southern Nigeria who have invested in this venture and brought in one Nigerian or Chadian and the rest of that to help them survey the southern part of Nigeria for what we are currently now facing. Now, in reality, the reason why it has somehow become more impossible to get rid of these miscreants, these terrorists who have now come to stay, is because majority of those who brought them, initially they told you, maybe they moved their cows from Kaduna, or they moved their cow from Libya, Chad, Niger, or so. Like, oh, they tracked all of that. We now realize that most of the cows were actually bought, ferried down to Yoruba land with no plan of building ranches and handed them over. In fact, there is also a record. There are a few of these terrorists, Fulani as they were, their guns were bought for them by some of these southerners. But these were the first fronts. They were like the front. Okay? The real terrorists that are, waging their real jihad after the surveillance and everything is concluded, those ones don't need cows. And they don't ride cows. They ride bikes in their hundreds. So back to the Undani people in Enugu, that you have been seeing them protesting. Their government seems to have lost it. They have no idea of what to do. They are already, mapping land that they were willing to volunteer in order to stop these killings and these attacks. Where farmers, like I said, the people who live in those rural communities, they depend more on on what they grow, which means they grow their food. And when these farms are destroyed, you destroy their livelihoods. And these are people who are independent on their own with no support from the government whatsoever. So they are now at the mercy of these cow-moving rogues. So if they dare try to push back, then they can bring those ones on the bikes in their in their hundreds to slaughter. Now, if you want to see what the experience was like, I think you should watch this. If you are from the eastern part of Nigeria, some of the language, what they said in this video, you will understand better and do us that favor. Interpret a little as you can in the comments. Let's go to Enugu. What it means to be under the invasion of the Fulani terrorists and their cows. This is what it means.
Not be the first one, not be the second one, not be the third one. It is becoming, destroying all these things, and we have been crying. So I don't know why you should ask him to live here and be destroyed. No, come on.
Go that side.
No, I know they go. I go picture me. I don't thief. I don't do what.
You spoil somebody's something. You spoil somebody's.
What if you suppose somebody's something to picture me?
Mala, come here. They picture me and you.
Mala, come hear what I'm saying. Come,
we know the beach person. We know the.
That is why we not do and now I don't know that one again.
No.
I don't know that. Even in our farm, in a true farm, we not do the thing like that. I know it for you.
No, we don't say you. We don't say you tip. As they picture you.
I don't deny you.
The reason why we don't picture you, we say once you tell us say they not go come again, we go take and say they not go come again.
Exactly.
But no make the thing where you go make you to make it.
Don't face.
Sani, Anani.
So see, I'm
Hey, leave
Our
one.
That's why we go leave our cow.
Our own one. Where the other one? Okay, leave them now. This one. Mala, take them easy. We too with the vessel.
This is why they picture me.
With the picture you because now you bring the cow. Bring the cow here. Where the people's one?
Exactly.
You don't have
this is where this thing they do. You don't happy.
I'm not happy.
Why they picture you? Why they not picture you?
So that picture that because of that.
Mala, what you they talk about this?
Okay, what you want? Yes.
Now him they ask me. Now him they ask me about this. But that picture, why would that picture me?
You they picture me too.
If you picture na brother na
the picture
no, we go picture you.
Go carry me go on other side again.
Picture all of them.
Go carry me go on other side.
No, we don't carry you go on other side. No. Once you talk with you, when
my man, I beg, make una listen to me.
Okay.
I know say you na no get cow. Yeah?
Me I get cow.
You no get cow. One, this cow why enter farm na our own.
Okay.
One, these people, all of you are here na mature person.
Okay.
You don't call me because you are fighting. I do not call me because
no, now you call they do like say you want fight.
Even your brother wait there, they never beat him.
We no touch him. We'll call you.
Okay, wait. That picture, why they picture me? I know understand.
No, we got picture. We got picture, Mala.
Don't take our politics.
The picture is to just have a conference that we meet with you, discuss with you. So that we are going to have the.
So you know, go bring this cow, come this place.
Because what we want to tell how you settle with
say,
Mala,
you know, go bring this cow, come this place.
Like I tell you.
That be this place.
If I want, wait. If I want,
wait. This is what I want for you now. Make una leave that. Make una talk about the farm. No be cow farm shop. Cow shop farm.
Yes.
Okay, now cow shop farm.
Okay. You don't see him. What you will do now? You don't see the elderly man.
I don't see him.
Show the elderly man again.
That's right. Magan damages.
So Mala, what you go do now? Mala, talk. We will know the fight. Once you settle this man, we leave you, but you not go call you again.
You don't come here again. Exactly.
I know they come for the farm, I know they come this bush.
But this bush and this farm.
You no go come this river again. This river, you no go come.
I know the shop.
No, talk that one.
I know the shop.
No talk that one.
I know the shop.
Okay, you no go come this river again.
This cow.
I know they use money to buy the cow.
Because of the enter and that's why you know they do. And that farm, na mistake. If you know be mistake, they know the entire farm.
We don't need cow here again.
Why now, Oga?
In the sponsor. Madam, this one is not the one.
We don't need farm. That's why we're here.
Why we not know that?
The reason why we know that we use to spoil our crops.
If you know spoil farm.
Mala, just talk to you where you go.
Oga, I beg. Oga, I don't beg you.
They talk the thing.
We may give you weapon. Mala, talk. You might go get caught too, because all the food people like that download.
Listen to me, this is why they think.
Someone said that is not Enugu, but Imo. But the bottom line is that is the nicest interaction that you can have. Because you see anything, whatever, what will follow, that interaction is going to be war. Violence, it could be war. It's not even like war. It's going to be an invasion. Something very, very dark. Where if the altercation lead to maybe seizing a cow or killing one, then they would have to come back. That time it won't be the way you were so irritated, that conversation. The African Wahala that I have never seen the traits of violence in, just said, and to Pagomoluri, so break button on his head. But I never see you as somebody where you just carry bottle like that. Oh. Eh? See, a lot of you felt so kind of disgusted listening to that. But that is the best you can get. Because anything after that is bloody. And that's what people experience. You either speak gently. And somebody asked, in fairness, can any Igbo try that in the north? Or put it this way, can any Yoruba or anybody from the south try that in Sokoto? Eh? I'll leave you with the question, with the answer. Going forward, while still in the East. How many of you still remember that in Abia State, among all things you have heard about Abia State, the last one or the latest one is Abia State paying 10 billion naira for a fake airport project. And that was the Ikpeazu, the former governor. Somebody finally found the, a clip where Ikpeazu answered our question about the airport. Do you want to know where the airport is or why he didn't build the airport and couldn't get back the 10 billion? Listen.
We need an airport. Because if you want to create a commercial hub, access is key. Access is key. 1. 2, without deriding anybody, I've not seen one airport in Nigeria that can speak to what an airport should be in the 21st century. An airport is not a park. It's not a place. It's not a place you run to board a flight and go away. I have enormous respect for the former governor of Lagos State. What he wanted to do around Oshodi scared me as a governor. Scared me. I saw in him somebody who was thinking like me. You capture people in a place, and 5, 6, 7 million people pass through Oshodi every day. That's a resource. So why don't you aggregate them, put AC, make them put AC around the corridors, then display things for them to buy? Because as they move about, if you have your little toddler or your 3-year-old and somebody is come and buy ice cream, and you see Father Christmas selling ice cream or something, that child, you must buy that ice cream. But you must create the ambience to enable the person take the walk in that place with his child. But if it is rowdy and pickpockets are harassing and people are taking things, my ideal airport is the airport in Dubai. If you go to Dubai airport with $200,000, you will finish all the money there. You won't go home. And people come to Dubai just to hold meetings and go away. So I was looking at a small compact airport that will have a hotel. Not an airport that will close after 9 p.m. An airport you can, oh yeah, I'm traveling to Lagos 7 a.m. Let me go to the airport. I'll dance in the nightclub, eat my dinner there. In the morning, I board my flight. All you want to do is to create many stations that money will change hands. That's how to grow GDP. So, but if you go to the airport I use in my state, if you go there now, you will not see anybody. You will not see anything. Unless it is an olo or something wild animal, you won't see anything. And yet, calculate the number of persons that come there, that pass through there. All of them passing through the airport has money. And they want to spend the money, but there is nothing. So I wanted to create an economic hub. A place you can have your bed and breakfast. a place you can have a nightclub, a place you can have a conference, set up rooms like this in an airport. So that, I'm traveling, my flight is by 6, but I'll arrive at the airport by 3. Let us hold the meetings. The tea you drink there, the coffee, the everything, the food, all of those things are happening in that airport. And you create jobs, and people coming, we want to go again, even on account of the airport. So, it is still a priority for me. But my people feel that I needed to do other things. And then because I'm a teacher, I'm also a good listener. I decided to return the airport as a priority, but go back to the drawing board and start planning again, while I do what they want to see. And that is what has just happened. So it's my priority, and I'll get back to it. I'll give you that airport.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Ekweazu, the governor of the God-owned state. God-owned states. Abia. The airport is still his priority. Don't see. He has a vision, the kind of airport he wants to build. So he gave the contractors 10 billion naira. Maybe to draw the plan and all of that, but somehow it is like they just build the airport in his head. So he knows if all of you can open up his head, you will see the airport he has in his head that cost that 10 billion. Unfortunately, it will have to remain in his head. And the rest of Abians can imagine what a 10 billion, or supposed airport in Dubai with hotel looked like a bunch of clowns who are destroying lives by denying people the opportunity to experience life and live a very good standard of a very good standard life. They're denying them, but they can talk, or they can speak all grammar. Politicians are like actors. They can be whatever you want them to be. If you want them to be comedians, they will be. If you want them to be what do you call it? If you want them to be anything, you want them to be men of God, they will be a man of God, and if you want them to anything, they will be. But you will be so foolish to believe any of those characters that they put up. And there are many foolish people that believes them. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah. Might take a tea break, but follow me to Ocean. So I won't take a big topic stop, okay? Don't go anywhere.
Don't give me love.
Owó ni kékeré Ìjẹ̀bú, owó ni àgbà Ìjẹ̀bú, owó ni. Anyway, I use that as my tea break, so let's move forward a bit. Friends, I was going to tell you about the Ondo State APC Egbekegbe's primaries that became in fact, the primaries, APC, Egbekegbe's governorship primary in Ondo State was conducted by Yeye Bello's antelope protege, Ododo, and it's a controversy. So the current governor, the former deputy governor to Aketi, was that Lucky Ayedatiwa? So he's the current governor who succeeded Akeredolu. Now he wants to be governor properly. So of course they had to rig it for him. So I'm not going to take you into all of that, but there's something I want to show you. How people will continue to enable the criminals who will come back and deal with them. You see, when they talk about delegates and then they talk about, selecting their candidates, this particular one in 2024 is so similar to what I saw sometimes some way back online, 14 years ago, 2010, 2011 in Nigeria. They were counting this was supposed to be the people and who they are voting for, okay? And look at this.
305, 306, 409, 420, 480, 500, 561, 562, 563, 564, 565, 668, 669, 670, 671, 672, 675, 677.
They have just about 30 people on the queue, but they are already counting 676. Only for them to be there and do all of that. And then they will come back and become this. This is why you shouldn't pity people who ended up like this, because a lot of them contributed to this too, right? You know Lege, or Omo President, Lege, Miami. He made a video. After they put their criminal leaders in power, then they queue and ask them to bless them. Just like this.
Eyameko, ṣẹlẹ̀ bó ṣe pọ̀, ṣẹlẹ̀ èrò bó ṣe sùn lọ bí omi, ṣẹlẹ̀ bó ṣe pọ̀, Aunty Karina ló ń fún wọn lówó, ló ń fún wọn lóúnjẹ, Aunty Karina, first lady, ìyàwó governor, máa wẹ́rẹ́ lébọ̀wúdù, olólébọ̀wúdù tó kì í ṣáàmì, ó ṣe bí àmì, ó ṣe bí ọlọ́pàá, òun náà náyàn, yóò dákú sí ẹ lọ́wọ́, orí ẹ̀ tó pé yẹn, á pé mi ni máa mú ẹlẹ́ fún ara mi. Ìyàwó gómìnà ló fún wa ló jẹ́ ń bí o, òun ló fún wa lówó o, yálà Hausa níwájú Ìkẹjà City Mall ṣe rí pé gómìnà ó ń ṣiṣẹ́, àwa táàní ó ń rántí wa, èmi kan gbowó mo gbóúnjẹ o, eré òdà mo wà ń bẹ̀ ń jọ yẹn o, ẹ bá gbọ́ voice tó lọ lábẹ́lẹ̀ ẹgẹ́ tì í sìn, ẹ máa gbọ́ mo wà ń bẹ̀. Àwọn olùfẹ́ bòmí ń jọ yẹn, àwọn ọlọ́pàá yìí lọ dúró sí mi gbé lẹ́gẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ sí mi kò tẹ́ bá ṣe tó ṣe bòmí nìyẹn o. So ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ gómìnà Lagos State, ọwọ́ ẹ máa ròkè o, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o, ẹ dojú tì mí o, my governor, ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ bá mi lọ bẹ Bímbọ́ àtàwọn ẹ bá mi bẹ Bímbọ́, ẹ bá mi bẹ.
Nuisance lélẹ́yìí.
But yeah, a lot of people have ended up like that. You just have to look out for where they are sharing food. And to them, that's a great, we are working so hard. We are giving people food. Yeah, we know that people are poor. We know that things are hard. What do you want us to do now? At least we are giving them food. Did you not see that video where the wife of the governor is giving a lot of people food? Did you not see it? So what else do you want them to do? Let us all kind of, let us appreciate them. Isn't that how they do? It is. And the same set of people, once they give them food, they still have to dwell in communities like this. Would you believe this is supposed to be an expressway? I'm talking about like motorway. Would you believe this happens to be, this is supposed to be the federal motorway somewhere in Auchi in Benin? Take a look.
This is Ekpoma Road. See Ekpoma Road. See Ekpoma Road. This is express road in Ekpoma. Express road. Benin express road in Ekpoma. Look at it. See road. Now see road. See road. This is Ekpoma Road. See Ekpoma.
Ekpoma Road, rather, not Auchi. But so people have to kind of like live in those areas, okay? Like, just give them food, you know? Like, that's what really kind of matter now. And then Tifnumbu decided that he's going to construct a 700-kilometer coastal road. You know something about that? Nigeria has no money for coastal road, okay? They have no money for internal road, enough for it, no. Their roads are horrible and terrible. There's a road, very popular one, that could have been the most busy road in the entire Africa. It's called the East-West Road. It could have been more busier than the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, honestly. And it's almost like about 600 kilometers or 700 kilometers as well. They have abandoned that, okay? And Tifnubu want to build another one. The one that they have no plan of completing for another 50 years. But Tifnubu has awarded, Tifnubu has awarded 44 kilometers of it, which is part of Lagos. The road is meant to go to Calabar by the, okay? So 44 kilometers, which is part of Lagos to Ogun border. Tifnubu has awarded that for 1 trillion naira. I don't know how much it's going to be. How much is that per kilometer? Divide 1 trillion naira by 44. What do you get? Now, I am serious now because I'm going to read the comment, okay? Somebody should do it for me. If you divide 1 trillion naira by 44, that will give you the per kilometer. Okay? Please do it for me, please. I'm going to read the comment later, okay? I'll come back to that. So yes, Tifnubu has awarded that, and a multi-million-dollar investment called the Landmark. You need to see that place. We'd have to go. They will destroy that and destroy all the businesses around it. Not because they have intention of constructing any road to Calabar. They just have to open a window where they can legitimately empty your treasury. I promise you. Here you get that kind of thing, right? Later, now them go come tell you, say, the project is going to take, well, they've told you already it's going to take 8 years anyway. That one is on the side. As long as there is food, let there be food. And there is food. Right? So let's go to the next one. This one is just news that we can say it is great that it is not fatal. Ghana Air that skids off the runway in Lagos this afternoon or so, or this morning. Let me show you.
The guy just tried.
We are just lucky, just arrived this morning to the crash, Ghana Airline. Thank God. The fire service just arrived.
Hello everyone, please, I need you to gather together, please. Let's come together. Let's go that way. Please come along. Stop taking videos and please come. We need to do a head count quickly, please. God, thank you. Thank you.
83 passengers escaped death today. Somebody's again, Maiyegun, they only escaped death. Maybe the thing just skidded off the runway. You don't understand. Do you even understand the trauma? Do you think the plane just slowly and he just parked himself out of the main road, Abby? You don't understand that maybe something was supposed to have happened up there. Even if not just 1,000 feet. The epilepsy catch him. And they started doing like that. Instead of landing, the whole 83 people and the crew could die. That's how mad the aircraft is. I'm not joking. So yeah, they escaped death. And you could see some of them, like, thank God, oh, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. So, it's not going to tell my family. But you won't tell your family anything if you are dead. Imagine somebody who escaped plane crash and say, hey, thank you, God. Oh. Hey, what's not going to tell my daughter? What would I tell my wife? That happened. Papa, you won't be here. Plane crash means you are gone. Now people go tell your wife. But we thank God that they were all alive. And then for those who are still flying in some of the flying coffins in Nigeria, Mokuna de read your Tabati Ada Bila Abiwa Taba, Magino Ali Mowu among Kasaba, Sayasla, Bishena Sayasla Nanda Datala Abi, Abulabu. Anyway, let's leave that. So the prompting is that it could have been worse. But what would be worse? Is for anyone to think being locked up by the rogue government could actually be a good thing. Let me explain that. I have had people who believe that somehow Omoyele Sowore was a tool in the hands of the APC Ebekebe until they illegally detained him. Until his release, he's never really shared the story, but I found a clip where he was sharing his prison experience. Then he made reference to some of you, dear Yilokons, when Tifnubu said this.
Tí o bá sí àwa èmi tí ń dúró wájú yìí tí ń lérí ogun tí ní òkè Buhari nìṣó ká máa bá lọ. Kò ní di president. Ó ṣe kìíní olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kejì olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kẹta olùlẹ̀. Ó tiẹ̀ sọ́kọ́ lórí tẹlifíṣàn. Pé láyé òun ò tún rán mọ́, mo dẹ̀ lọ bá ń Kaduna wa rán ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n kọ́ lélẹ̀ àdúró tiẹ̀ wàá dẹ̀ wọlé. Nǹkan kan ní pé o ò ní fọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ṣeré. Ó dẹ̀ gbà.
Ó dẹ̀ gbà. Yorùbá ló kàn. Èmi ló kàn. That later became what these Runukus, who decided that if you are opposed to Tifnumbu, then you are opposed to Yoruba. They escalated their bigotry, thinking Tifnumbu is Yoruba, and if Tifnumbu is president, Yorubas will probably enjoy or maybe the life of the Yorubas will be better than the rest of Nigeria. They are now disappointed, and Sowore has some word for you. Right? Including his experience in Bokuwari's detention, Bokuwari's gulag.
We have not rescued our country yet. So why the haste to write a book, a documentary, or a movie? We're not there yet because the guys who brought Nigeria to its knees are still in charge of Nigeria. It doesn't matter that they've changed their cultural looks. Because when Buhari was in power, everybody was wearing the Hausa hat. If you go to Abuja now, everybody is wearing Yoruba Politico. Because that is what is in vogue. And it's all about business as usual. Because the man who is in charge now said it's Yoruba, it's his own turn. He didn't say it's Yoruba's turn. But the Yorubas accidentally and mistakenly thought he was saying that it's their turn. Now the Yorubas are facing what we call a Nikon Loka. Yes, not a Milokon anymore. And the rest of Nigeria are facing what they call renewed shaking, which is the opposite of renewed hope. So, having got to that point, we cannot be celebrating the end of a battle when the war is not over yet. But that's not the reason for us now to gather together and appreciate small victories. And one of these victories is that we can say to them that, well, we give you a middle finger. Yes, and we got away with it. But it's not the middle finger we want to give these guys. We want to give them a sucker punch. That is what Nigeria needs so that they will be completely dislocated. And I would say to you, because so many people want to ask me, what is detention like? There's nothing new about detention. Because I've been there before. But if you have never been to detention before, which was why I was advising my friend Koolu when he come to, if you haven't been there before, you don't want to go there. Yes. Because one of the things they will do to you is to destabilize you, and they want to disempower you, and they want you to beg for your rights. They want you to beg for the simplest thing. But for someone like me who is used to, I'm a repeat offender when it comes to Nigerian states, I didn't worry when they took away my phone. I was reading books. But someday, I found a way to smuggle in a phone. I was making phone calls. Even the day they wanted to release me, they made a call to me and said, they said they should release you. When they came to me and said, go and get your things, no, we want to see you downstairs. I said, I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere. He said, and when I came back again, I went and made another phone call. I said, what did you do to these people? They have wrong call. They said you don't want to leave. He came back and said, Mr. Charade, if you don't go, we are going to force you. I said, no, tomorrow is Christmas. I want to spend it with you. Yes. It was because I was able to smuggle in a phone. And when I left, I discovered that the Nigerian states had over 160 DSS officers working on my case. 160 DSS officers. And when I met one of them, I said, Nigeria's kids need 160 teachers. You didn't provide it to them. But you provided 160 officers just to punish a person who doesn't care about punishment. Because they transferred all of them after I left, accused of aiding me in smuggling these cell phones and all that. And I mentioned to you, the Nigerian states elevates and celebrates criminals. We were detained across from Boko Haram commanders. I've never seen anybody enjoy like these guys. They are beards. They have two combs that they were using in combing their beards. One of them had the audacity to tell me that while he's even there, he had access to women. And that he had a baby while he was there. And that he didn't like the woman anymore. He had to ask them to go and bring Boko Haram commander in detention. You were concerned. I was also, as you guys are aware, detained with Dasuki. Yes, not the same cell, but we used to meet on Saturdays to watch football. Dasuki is an Arsenal fan. That's why I told him that. I think that's why you like punishment. And it's unbelievable that he was very sure that nothing will come out of his trial. In fact, by the time I met him, he doesn't go to court anymore. He says, whenever they are tired, they will let me go. But that's not until he accused me of being the one who brought him to detention. I said, how? He said, it's the Harry Potters that brought me here. Good luck. good news was that I was the one who also got him released from detention. Courtesy of the advocacy you all did with the Congress. But I must also thank the U.S. officials who stood up for us here. There was a senator now in trouble, Bob Menendez, he did fantastic. And a congressman, Josh Gottheimer. Even when I was leaving when I was about to get the visa, he was practically on the phone, calling to ensure that I was safe and on my way to the U.S. And there was a report that, contrary to what I've heard, my wife did not burn my passport. Not because she didn't want to, but she can't find it. Yes. Because I actually did not bring the passport to the house. I kept it with someone who took it to Rudolph's house.
That was him giving account to his New Jersey, New York, American loved ones who stood by them, the family, while he was illegally detained in Nigeria for 5 years. But he's not lying when he said they had about 160 DSS on his own case. He's not lying. There is a report. And also when he said they dissolved them, like they just had to let them go because she was no longer under their check and what have you anymore, so they can just go back to whatever position they were. It's not lying. There is a record that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that every time that you see him in that court, it actually costs, this is unbelievable, right? It costs Nigeria 500 million naira to provide security, to provide intelligence, to provide everything that before they will allow Nnamdi Kanu to come out of the DSS facility. That there are actually people that have been making a kill by just raising memo on that alone. Just raise the memo. Nnamdi Kanu is going to be taken to court tomorrow. So we're going to need 500 million naira. So, okay, yeah. Go and submit that. There are people who are raising the memo and they are collecting their money. The day they will release Nnamdi Kanu, those ones too, they will be dissolved. God knows how many number of their DSS and every other thing that they put on his own case. You can just imagine it. At least Yorubas is not asking to break up Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is. So he's not lying. All this wasteful wastage and all that, they are just part and parcel of what make Nigeria an underdeveloped third world country. Yeah. I'm talking about these characters, yeah. Atiku was recently at the guy who raised the alarm over the budget padding for 2024. Ningi. Remember Ningi? The guy they suspended for raising an alarm, the whistleblower, over the 2024 budget. Well, the guy was suspended for 3 months, so he's expected to be recalled back soon. For those who haven't seen Atiku for a while, well, he was seen at Ningi's place 2 days ago, and he had all this to say. Do you mind? No. Meanwhile, hang on. Let me ask you this. Be honest, okay? Number one, somebody has helped me when I asked that you should help me divide 1 trillion by 44. Somebody has told me that it is 22.2 billion or so. I mean, 3 billion. That means Tifnumbu has awarded 1 trillion naira to Shaguri, ITech, to construct 44% of the 44 kilometer of the 700 kilometer Lagos Calabar coastal road. And this will be the portion from Lagos to Ogun State border for 1 trillion naira, 44 kilometer. And if you divide that, it is 22.2 or 22.3 billion naira per kilometer. How? You know about Nigeria only make it. Like let's forget it. Nigeria only make it. 22.3 billion naira per kilometer road. Let's go to Bauchi. Abi, where is that guy from again? Ningi.
So Abdul Ningi, gentlemen and ladies, if they are, or ladies and gentlemen. Most of us, Abdul, distinguished senator, are known to you here because we have maintained a very, very close relationship over the years in our struggle to enthrone democracy, to sustain democracy, and also to give credibility, to our democratic institutions. Today, you are a victim of bringing about that credibility that we have always fought to bring into our democratic institutions. We have come here to sympathize with you, to let you know that we are with you as far as this struggle is concerned, and we will continue to support you in your endeavors to make sure that we have credibility in our institutions. It is very, very regrettable. You meant well for this country, you meant well for the National Assembly, but because the institution is being led by people who do not value credibility, who do not value transparency and honesty, today you are a victim. Let me tell you, you will not continue to be a victim because God would definitely give you or triumph you into your struggles. We all have been victims of one form, of struggle or the other. Therefore, we are here to show you our solidarity, to support you in whatever form that you decide to take, to restore your dignity, to restore your integrity, and not only that, but to restore the integrity of the National Assembly itself. So we want to assure you that you have us, whether you see us or you don't see us, we want to assure you that we are your soldiers.
70 years old man. He taught you.
Jesus is Lord. Nigeria is no problem. I know you. Some of you are. The director's cuts. You saw the shock on my face. 23 billion naira to construct a kilometer road. As people should, once in a while, they should fear God. I know they don't fear God. Like once in a while, you just sit down and be like, this thing we won't do so. How Muhammad go feel? Abi how Jesus go feel? Like that kind of thing. How about now? 23 billion naira to come 1 kilometer. 1 trillion to complete effort. I don't even think it is true. It's not, it can't be 22 billion. I'll be 2 billion. 2 times 100. No. 23 billion per kilometer. It's like fear God, Abi Allah, or Shonkono, in everything we are doing. Someone, what did we bring to this world? What are we going to take away from it? in a country, the poorest country. See, the poverty capital of the world, they want to build a kilometer road for 22 billion. They fear Allah. They fear Allah. Or any God where you they follow. So, after a thief coup, from those who don't really like, because a lot of you may not pay attention, there is already a media coordination, there is a coordinated media campaign against Obio. To those of you who don't like him before, want to bring content on JTO, they don't bring waiting you like the shop. Now you can hear a lot about him now, but you have no idea that this is a coordinated one. But if you pay attention, you will see it. It is because, for some reason, do you know that this is also on record and it's a factor? Do you know that after the 2023 Charade election, this Peter Obi has actually given out over 350 million naira. You see all those things when they do 5 million, 10 million, 5 million, 5 million, borehole, this or that. That guy has disbursed over 350 million. That is enough to trigger something. The last time he was in Kaduna, he told people this.
I got involved in politics, before I got involved in being part of political setup or even going to become a politician, I've been involved in helping to build better humanity. I think the most powerful part of the world, from Rwanda to Afghanistan to everywhere there's been a problem in the world, I was there. So I didn't just start going around because I entered politics. I recall as a governor, as a serving governor of my state, I went to President Jonathan and said, I want to go to Haiti. He said, what are you going to Haiti to do? I said, they have earthquake. I want to go there. He said, why? I said, that's what I used to do in my private life while I was not in politics. I go to wherever there's problem. And as I'm talking to you, Mr. President, I withdraw my only son from school because I'm going to go to Haiti to help them to review because I have earthquake. Because it is my belief that the only reason God created us and in a way blessed us and given us some grace is to use it to help humanity.
Yes, sir.
Anything short of that, you're wasting your time.
Yes.
And that's the purpose. So I'm here because of that. We are not campaigning now, we're not looking for votes. So for me today, I came and like His Grace said, I was the one who asked him, you have school of nursing. I got involved with
the cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Chai! Wala deal.
Whether na Atiku, whether na Obi, Showore, or just anybody, these guys call themselves the Northern whatever. You know, they always have all these random groups, right? They decided to give Tinubu a vote of confidence, whatever that means. And on that note is where we're going to round it up before we take calls tonight, right? Vote of confidence.
After thorough deliberation and careful consideration of President Tinubu's leadership, P1NF passed a resolution, vote of confidence in Mr. President's ability to steer Nigeria towards progress and prosperity. Despite the challenges faced, President Tinubu has demonstrated resilience, vision, and commitment to the welfare of Nigerian people. Reason for our support. Resolution Consequently, the delegate conference unanimously resolved as follows. The Northern region will support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu if he seeks re-election in 2027, and the North will vote massively for him to mobilize the youth across the North and to rally behind Tinubu's leadership to build a stronger, more prosperous Nigeria. Urge Northern leaders that it is not high time for Northern leaders to go beyond paying lip services and condemning the activities of insurgents in the North, but to unite and explore how best to address the issue of insecurity, a task that will only be achieved through collaborative effort between government and the stakeholders in the North. Conclusion. The Progressive Northern Youth Forum, as a result of successful completion of the delegate conference, conclude that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has demonstrated an unalloyed commitment to the socio-economic advancement of the Northern region. Hence, the appointment of credible Northerners in strategic leadership position in the country. The federal government appointment into position have therefore been paired to the North, which has helped maintain the spirit of fairness that Nigeria expects from the leadership of the country. Delegates also highlight the passion which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu interacted with key decision makers in northern Nigeria on his administration's policies and programs and how the region development is central to delivering the renewed hope agenda in the country. Northern Nigeria has witnessed government presence in critical sectors of the economy. This has consequently repositioned the economy of the northern Nigeria for sustainable growth and development. The Progressive Youth Forum have recognized the passion and dedication of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the progress of the North in line with his campaign promises. The Progressive Northern Youth Forum also recognized the invaluable support of some northern political appointees towards the success of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Minister of State, Bello and other northern political appointees from northern Nigeria has demonstrated capacity.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Because I don't want you to listen to everything, okay? My time is almost like rounding up, and then we're going to take a break, and then we will take calls. So I'll leave the rest to all of you. I've had my own, my own time. So we are going to go on a break, all right? And then we will take calls. And to you, this our brother, who is having these problems that we've already tabled just before everyone. You have spoken, you've called in, you've stated your side, all right? So I don't want you to get people to become like because you can easily piss people off if you begin to spam the comment section with comments like, oh, me and my children, we are this, or this, or we are trapped, and all of that. You need to stop it now. And even if you have to call in tonight for your own dignity, and if you don't understand the audience here, I want you to be very relaxed, okay? So that you don't really blow the whole thing up. Everyone has heard about what is going on there. And somehow, there are those who are already willing and reaching out. How can we just put together our widow's mite to support not just yourself and your family, but there are others too. So we have few options before us to be able to put together something substantial, maybe something meaningful. But if you continue to drop comments in the comment section like that, I'm not going to get myself involved. And I don't want you to call me tonight and remind me of it again. So I've told you, give us this week. We will come up with something that will worth it, or how we're going to go about it. Please. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We will take calls in a minute. I'm going to go have a refill. Let's go refill the cup. Thank you very much. If you have actually liked the broadcast, thank you. I will be back.
I built this country, I employed 13,800 workers. People employ nobody. And nobody asks them their source of wealth. I have 3 factories in Lagos, Nigeria. I have 2 factories in Ota, build manufacturing. I have 3 factories in Aba, manufacturing. And I'm a thief. And people that cannot explain where their source of wealth comes from, they are not thieves. I leave everything in the hands of God. May God be the judge.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip.
Prince Jejeman.
Yes, sir. Maiyegun General.
How are you tonight, the Prince?
Baba, I'm fine. Oh, our Tukano Mike.
Yes, sir. Loud and
Baba,
clear.
you know the miss. You know the miss. You are too much.
Thank you. I came, I always tried my best to come with loads and loads of enough. Then how to piece them together enough that at least it will not overshot the time. Well, if you think I did well, then I believe.
Baba, you too much.
Thank you.
You know, if you be church, you enter overflow. You know, really? I tell you, Baba. I tell you. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to quickly run through. I have 3 things to comment on. Yeah, one.
Please.
One is into overflow of yesterday. Okay, and 2 is for today. So quickly, I want to talk about this the Fulani man that that went into people's trespass into people's farm in Imo State, and they saw the audacity how he sat down and was even commanding them to remove camera from his face. You know, something that no Igbo man can do in the north. You know, nothing. No Igbo man can try that and go free. Okay, but what Nigeria is giving them that leverage for now. You know, what I want our people to know about this cow you see that everywhere since Buhari came in and opened up the secret about Nigeria disunity, everybody now saw what is the true Nigeria. You know, you can witness, all of us can witness that Fulani, they go into the trespass into everyone's space in Nigeria. And the people continue to chase them away, but they continue to resist. Why? Have anyone asked that question? Why is these people resisting? They have more than enough land in the north. In the Sambisa forest is even bigger than the whole Nigeria. You understand? But they continue to move around. And there's something that we don't know. You know, before Buhari came in and now open up the secret of Fulani in Nigeria, these people, they were using stick. They were not carrying gun.
No.
But throughout that time, they know that this business, those their elites know that this business will not last into 21st century. But still, they continue to encourage it. Why? Because of the Usman Danfodio mission of dipping Quran into the Atlantic Ocean. So that time was their era of monitoring the whole Nigeria. Because their plan is to establish Ruga, mind you, in all parts of Nigeria, so that they can have the local government, they can operate from the local government as an indigene.
Yes.
Do you understand? So then the whole Nigeria, we are just sleeping. They don't know their plans. It was when Buhari
they were calling everybody, trying to wake them up. They were calling them provocators, those who wanted to cause trouble. Now they are under the attack.
Thank you. During that time, you know, they used to carry dagger. You know, people when they thought, say, don't near them, or they would dagger you, or just like that. They were using that dagger then as their means of threatening people. But now Buhari opened the eye of everybody to understand. So then everybody were saying, they are carrying stick. That was the era of monitoring Nigeria. You understand? For this, is their invasion of this 2022 or 2024. So that is that. I want to open our eye towards that side. Then secondly, Baba, you see, you are talking about the road construction of 22 million per kilometer.
Billion.
You understand? Yes, billion, isn't it? Billion per kilometer. Let me tell you, I want to, you know, the that time, this, you told us that the senators, they said they are using 1 million naira to put street light in their local government. Each street light, I have bought a street light for my village. One street light will not cost more than, it's not cost with the pole. It's not up to 100,000 naira. I'm telling you, Maiyegun. It's not up to 100,000. I bought it by myself.
It's going to cost them 189 million naira to build one. But they said it's a solar powered one.
Yes, I'm saying it on this program so that they are hearing it. One street light, solar street light, the best one is cannot cost you with the pole up to 100 million naira and 100,000 naira. I'm telling you, I bought it myself, not that someone bought for me. Do you understand? So this is how they are wasting Nigeria resources in the name of one Nigeria. Okay, so our people should open their eye and know that there's nothing like Nigeria. We are wasting our time. So finally, into the overflow of yesterday, the guy that came, the APC guy that came, he doesn't understand the Maiyegun platform very well. Their platform is a mirror. When you come to a Maiyegun platform, the mirror will show who you are. Immediately you start talking, you will appear. If you are black, if you are white, you will appear.
You will see yourself and everybody will see you too.
Everybody will see you. That's one good thing about your program. Yesterday, when he was trying to do the APC devil's advocate by bringing Igbo, he says from Delta. It's not twisted, and they started gaslighting the Igbo. I want to tell him one thing. Bank, when you go to bank to collect a loan in a bank, do you tell the bank manager that I've stayed in this bank for 15 years, so you must give me loan? Is there no condition for you to collect that loan? Wouldn't you be qualified to collect the loan? And I want to tell him one thing, that you are buying a good somewhere for 15 years. If you are your attitude, people are around. The market is a connection. They have groups. They have WhatsApp. If your attitude, maybe you are going to somewhere, you buy credit and you will not pay. You think that when you come to this shop, because you have not bought there before, you don't know they've known about you, and they reject giving you that credit, you will not say Igbo don't give you. As that man correct, Austin said yesterday, if you are dealing with an Igbo man and you are credit worthy, whether you are Hausa or you are Yoruba or anything you be, the Igbo man ready to give you his container.
Yes.
If you are trustworthy, he's ready to give you container and you'll be paying gradually. That's how we do business. Do you understand? And that's how we prosper within our circle as Igbos. You know, so that's what I want to educate him. I know he's coming from APC angle. God bless you, Jare Baba.
And you too.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Prince Jejeman, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for that too. Okay. But again, right? My people, I am going to possibly have to make this appeal now. And it's going to be a two-way appeal. Okay. The first one is that we have a brother here who has told us what it is right now for himself and his family, having known all that led to this, what do you call this, economic, ambush. I call it economic ambush for so many people who are just minding their own life and their businesses right there in the UAE before Nigeria happened to them. Not their own creation, of course. I want to believe that there are other members of this Temple of Truth who are also in Dubai. It's not a bazaar. It's not nothing. Okay, it is just to say we could actually come together, right, and extend our arms of brotherhood or sisterhood to those who need them or those who are ready to take them. Excuse me. But somebody did ask something yesterday. When this finish, who is going to pay them again or give them something again? I'm like, well, it is a tough one, but the act of giving is that you give when it is mostly needed. And in this case, it is mostly needed, right? And it doesn't really matter how small or how big, it is the intention that matters. And the ability to say, okay, we can afford it and we can do this. And on this, I am appealing to that your good side, the particular side that, you know what I mean, like you are willing to actually give out. So my plan is, you see that PayPal on your screen? That is the Diaspora Radio PayPal. And I could actually take a donation for, well, maybe one or two of our people, starting with the current one and his family that we know of. So I was going to probably just go think about how the whole thing will go. And I was going to place a call through to you. I was going to talk to you. So as for me to understand, like one-on-one away from the program. And I'm still going to do that, okay, before I commit any penny of this platform to anything. And to every one of you, my donors, regular donors on MaiyegunsDiary Politico, $1, $10, £20, $100, $500. It doesn't really matter now. Every penny counts and every little help. So we can kind of like work on this between now, tomorrow, and maybe Thursday. Okay? And whatever we can mop together, of course we can reach out, no matter how small or how big. So this is now me officially appealing to you. And if you're asking me for how can you make that happen? You see, take a look at your screen. You can just take a look at your screen and type in just exact words as it is there for the PayPal. You see the PayPal me. Type it on your browser. Send it. You will have the chance of how you can actually support them. And you can add a message to say, for that brother in Dubai, and then, yeah, I will come back here and tell us if we have anything substantial enough that could go through any, any transfer. So I declare that open right now, and I'm going to count on you. And to you, my brother, good luck to you. Sometimes my people can feel generous. Sometimes, they kind of would need a lot of conviction to be convinced before they can be so generous. But above it all, there are very good-hearted and kind-hearted people on this platform who are really going to respond. That I know. So that's my announcement, okay? So thank you so much. I will try and copy the link of the PayPal and put it in the comment section, okay? And yeah, we can track it and say, oh yeah, we've got £500. Oh, we've got £1,000. That is if we are that lucky, right? Well, let's see how that goes. So I will leave the link and all that in the comment, okay? So I'm going to keep the line opened. If you're still making effort to calling in, sure, please. The line can take the course now, okay? So I'll put that back on. So thank you very much. Let me take this. Oh, I lost you. I actually just lost one, but I will get another one, of course. Yeah. Hello there.
Hello, Baba Gbalagba.
Martinelli. Yo, Maiyegun. How are you doing tonight, Baba?
Baba, I can't complain. No, I can't complain. I don't even know anything to talk again. If a old OG is still in shock about the happenings in Nigeria.
I couldn't see my own face, so but I was trying to.
You're shocked. You see that shock on
Nigeria cannot make it. Baba, not true. Now Nigeria will survive now. You can't run a country like this and expect them to survive it. They can't.
Nigeria is the last
possible now.
Nigeria is the last accident. Nigeria is the last accident. And you know one thing, if you weren't reading all this history that you are reading daytime, like the daytime of the reading, if you weren't doing that, a lot of people will still be even more confused about the happenings. For those of us that have a little idea, that have a little understanding of the happenings of Nigeria, like we still find it difficult to even comprehend how this argument is still being allowed to continue to exist, and the fact that everyone is just comfortable. They're talking about Yeye Bello. I remember during the first, I don't know what republic they call that one, the Obasanjo Alamesiga. This motherfucker dressed like a woman. I was trying to escape from Nigeria.
No, he escaped from London to Nigeria. How he did it? How he escaped from London and arrived in Nigeria as a woman, passing through the Heathrow to Gambia. Man, people mad for that country, man. And they design Yeye Bello in case if you try, they don't design how you go look like in case.
Nigeria is the last dance. Nigeria is the last dance. The last dance, man. It's so sad. I don't really have much to say about what is happening today. Like, my own is, if the people don't understand how bad, because the truth is, people still don't understand all these things you're saying now, all these revelations and all these exposes that you're doing now. It sounds like a dream. It sounds like no, it can't happen. No, it cannot happen. It sounds like an exaggeration.
To some now. Baba, you know what people told me, Martinelli? You know what people told me? I think some of you actually really said that too, that Maiyegun, if nobody say you they add video, add documents, add picture, add things that we can see ourselves. A lot of us will believe that you're making all these things up.
Yeah.
Like Baba, some people will actually be like, yeah, we know that you get problem, but this guy, they make all these things up.
Baba, even with all these your videos, some people still believe. something in their mind, so one devil in their mind is telling them that this guy
is not totally true.
He's exaggerating. He's a baba. And as long as people, you see, and you know the funny thing, the people that are thinking like that, they are the smart ones among us. So they are the educated ones among us. If people don't understand that until everybody or the majority of the people come to that realization, okay, Nigeria is the lasident.
Yeah, it's an accident.
Don't come to that realization, Baba. We'll just remain in that infinite loop because this is not a circle. No. It is not a circle.
Loop. Yeah, too deep.
We are not. No, we are in an infinite loop. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know, my own is about the book you read today. That's where I'm getting my own point from. You know, I hope and pray that people are actually paying attention to the fact that, you see, these British, they've always, like from the inception of the creation of Nigeria, they've always made sure that it is the dumbest and the most stupid people that always.
It was always intentional, Baba. Intentional.
This is, and even up until, I mean, you look at Baba, you know, all throughout the last 8 years, whenever you bring out Buhari, Baba, if you know how bad, if you know how sad, I'm not, but if now calling is just entertaining. Buhari was
sorry about that. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Then, please. Sorry about that. Go on.
So, all throughout the last 8 years, when you were talking about Buhari and when Buhari was, I always felt bad because Buhari is somebody I know very well. And I know that he's Olodo. This man did not pass any course in the army. This man was one of the most useless and one of the most
hopeless soldiers. Professional examination.
Whoever served as soldier. And Nigerians elected this man as a president. Baba, I could not go to Nigeria, and I don't think I will ever step that. As long as the people decide to remain foolish, you know, we'll just be looking at ourselves from a distance because I can't dwell in the same contraption. I can't dwell in the same space with people who are this stupid. I mean, you can't. I mean, it should be a crime.
How do you actually marry it together, and then never have it in a way contradict with your own life goal and life ambition? Like, there's no way.
Because first things first, if I was still in Nigeria, I know that I would be dead because I was a soldier. Okay, and I was one of those soldiers that never conformed. So I know sure when I will be guessed. No way. They will don't
find me and I'll get rid of you.
So I think it is rather unfortunate that Nigerians, like some people still believe, because I see some, you know, this is one of the things that makes a lot of us. When you see some people that don't want to involve themselves in the Nigerian conversation, this is why. When you see some people, they say, oh, you know, Nigeria is going to be good. You know,
Nigeria will be great. Don't say that. Let's be positive. One day, Baba, you were a young man. I tell people, right? I said, one day, Baba, you'll be young man. When they don't talk this thing, now you are a man. You are like in your 40s, 50s. Now you can't tell people, say, it's a matter of time. Nigeria is still going to be great. Nigeria is still going to be fine. Baba, you are a little boy. Where did they talk him? You are a man where don't born now. You did talk him.
Papa,
and you notice
whenever I remember the amount of years I spent in arranged darkness, all the time that we didn't have light. My house was in Koolu. And if you know Ikorodu well, at the time they were even saying Ikorodu was not part of Lagos State. And for that reason,
I still believe that Ikorodu is not part of Lagos State. But for you, you will know if you have been to Ikorodu and Delta, I mean, they can actually treat them like they are not part of Lagos State anyway. But yeah,
but I lived there, so yeah, we were told we're not part of Lagos State, and that's exactly how we were treated when I was living there.
Even when they talk about Ikorodu, they talk about Ikorodu with pity. You know, look at our people in Ikorodu. We will take care of you now. We promise you, this time around, we will take care of you, okay? Ikorodu people, don't worry. The government will not forget about you.
I live in that street.
That's how they
address them. I actually live on my street. My street is named after my father in Ikorodu.
Wow.
Yeah? And on Agric, that if you know Agric, that road that leads to Baba, that road, this is not something I was told. I live there.
You did.
People commissioned that road 4 times. He gave it to 4 different contractors. And we watched that road not done. Throughout Tinubu's 8 years, they didn't do anything. All we saw was signboard and signboard. At the time, we didn't have lights in my area. We didn't actually have transformer for 1 whole year. Do you know at the time, when it was now time for us to now get a transformer, the landlord association, my father was also a member, the landlord association, they collaborated. Some people, they collaborated with some NEPA staff. And they collaborated to take money from people. Imagine people contributing money to buy transformer. Baba, the transformer had been approved already.
Yes.
By NEPA. NEPA has already given us transformer. But some people wanted to use that thing to make. And these are landlords. These are not people from another planet. These are
landlords in the area.
They were scamming their fellow landlords and fellow neighbors and because my father stood up, Baba, Baba, if to say if they could actually come inside my house and shoot my father, they would have.
They would.
What they not do? Now juju, now what they not do?
Say what me. You are.
Because my father refused some landlords scamming the rest of the people. You know? So, and some people will come and say, oh, Nigeria, we have a long way to go. We just need to do this. We don't need to do anything.
Once we have one leader like this, everything will change.
No. Nigeria need 500. Nigeria needs 500 leaders. We need 500 leaders. First of all, I'm not going to stress myself too much. I'm just going to sit here and I will keep looking, raise the awareness as much as we can. But if the people don't wake up, now so we're going to look ourselves from a distance. So
you go sit down under your couch, yeah?
When the people, if people wake up,
and now so if they don't want to wake up, they know. But now so you go sit down, and all of us go be there where we are still continuing shouting on them, and even if it has to become like Maiyegun, happy 87th birthday. What are you telling us tonight? And I will just come and be like, Martinelli, thank you very much, all that. Because, listen, we cannot give up. Because whether we like it or not, we are all awaiting victims anyway.
Yeah.
So the number of people we can wake up and wake their awareness and all of that for, we could be saving our own lives in another 10 years, Martinelli. True. We are doing could be saving our lives in another 20 years. True. It could be saving our generations.
And that is why people like me, I will be eternally grateful.
God bless you.
For your life and for your existence and for this battle. In fact, the day you came out and said, you know what, I'm going to do this full time. That day felt like I tried to mark that day. I'll never forget that day when you came out and said, you know what, I'm going to do this at the full time. That day, was like my birthday. Bye-bye, if I okay.
Well, I still really wish I live up to the expectation because there is to whom much is given, right?
Trust me,
much is expected as well, right?
You don't have to, Maiyegun, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You've done the needful. Okay, you don't need to do anything. Right. What you're doing, carry on doing it and just continue in that trajectory. That's all.
It's natural, by the way. It's unforced.
Whatever it is you're thinking, just carry on like that. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. No. For those of us that know you and know what you stand for, that's all you need.
Thanks, Baba.
Thank you very, very, very.
Bless you, Martinelli. Yeah.
God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button. We're over 1,000. Come on, guys. Come on.
Do that for us. Come on. Thank you so much, Martinelli. That's a very good one there from you. And indeed, we won't give up. We won't stop. We won't keep quiet. The day we do everything, the day we shut up is the day they win. And I don't think we really wanted them, we want them to win, do we? They've taken so much from us, right? For all of us who are alive today, if all of us have to take a stock of what Nigeria has taken from us, stolen from us, the future, the childhood, the life that we can only imagine, all stolen away from us, Baba, we can't give up, we can't stop, we can't. And that is why We must use everything within our own, every resource within our own space to further galvanize, enlighten, mobilize ourselves for a singular cause. Because this may be what will save our lives in the long run. Right? Here. Hello there.
Chief Maiyegun.
Papa, how are you?
General Maiyegun. In fact, today is my...
what do you say that again? Like you say, oh yeah, you know, appearing for service, at your service, sir. How are you?
Maiyegun, you've already reported for duty. You've already reported.
Thank you.
I have tried you for 3 years. Wow. For 3 years.
And here we are.
It's so funny.
No, why is so funny? I feel the same, right? When people who have been trying to reach out for a very long time, you see the same way you feel like, oh my God, it's connected. You see, it's the same way I feel too. Like, oh, really?
You know, why I'm laughing is that at times I'll send you a message after your text, after your program, and I just said, this man one day just take my call because I know you're overwhelmed. And God will continue to bless you.
Amen to that. Amen.
My name is Kings. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Kings.
And
I love that.
This is my first
King. So King from LA.
Yeah.
I won't forget that.
Yeah.
I won't.
Thank you, sir.
Bless you, man.
What you're saying is that what you're trying to avert is that may Nigeria not happen to any of us.
Amen.
Our relations.
Amen. It's all
because I told somebody last week that Netflix does not need to pay for movies for Nigeria. They should just mount camera
everywhere.
Every part of Nigeria is a movie. Government movie, people movie, market movie, activity movie. And the world will say,
get data. In everything you don't have in Nigeria, have data. You may live.
That's it. Maiyegun, you see Buhari coming to Nigeria. You know who I have? You know who I blame? Barack Obama. Barack Obama.
They played a very big role in bringing them in, no doubt.
I am not calling Britain again because why? They purposely took out Goodluck Jonathan. We know Goodluck Jonathan was corrupt, but he was not as corrupt and foolish as empty as Buhari. Buhari was a total not.
A total one.
Zero.
It's like they brought him to come and destroy Nigeria, take Nigeria like 40 years backward for some reason that we don't have a clue.
He said, I keep saying something. You see Nigerian pastors, they are praying. They should go on their knees and praise the God of Jonathan, please forgive us. God of Jonathan, forgive us. Because, come to think of it. Jonathan, we are flying Lagos, Abuja, 9,000, 15,000 flight. Is it food?
Lagos to Abuja,
No.
7.5,
Yes.
14,000 at the highest, so 14,000 at the highest.
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All of a sudden, it went 360. So they use their asset man to do that job, and that is where Tinubu comes in. Like David Afol that was working for Obama. He was the one that gave the Buhari that name, Reform Democrat.
Reform Democrats. Exactly.
And told Buhari to wear suit and snap. And the whole youth, all those Gen Z took it and said, the Messiah has come. We knew that this man was not. Honestly.
The third fastest growing economy in the world.
What are you talking? Number one
to fight for the 4th place.
During Jonathan, Nigeria was number one destination in Africa for investment during Jonathan.
And
number one.
See it. This one is not like all this talk. You could see it. You could see
I
things
say
happening
we
there. until things started disappearing.
With all the stealing, then we are doing, it wasn't affecting the market price. Market price was still steady. Dollar was 300 and something.
Dollar was liquid, like liquidity. I mean, all this they were talking about liquidity of the economy and all of that. There was no scarcity. That like you have today. These guys took over. They emptied the Nigerian Central Bank. Emptied it.
General, what they see, and immediately they took out Abba. You know, there was something Nigerians didn't know. Abba Kyari was the one stabilizing Buhari's government. Immediately they killed the man. And this man took over. Attorney General now took over, and now wiped Nigeria.
Bless your memory. I'm glad you said that. For 3 straight years, Abba Kyari was able to put leech or leeches on some of these rogues. The moment he was out of the place
at times we Nigerians we don't take details, we ignore details. Abba Kyari was taken out, and they killed that man. Immediately they took him out. This man that called himself Attorney General pounced in, and they wiped every ass of Nigeria. That is what we are fighting today. That is the problem. And let me tell you something. You know, at times pastors will say, "Don't use your mouth to cut yourself." But in the Nigerian situation, we're in a big hole. I don't know who put that rope to bring us out of that.
For people to understand what it means. It is deeper than we can describe.
So why I'm saying what I'm saying is that because my brother I just called said that it's Britain. No, Britain don't, like America don't take over Nigeria from Britain. Britain takes brief from America. Britain takes brief from America when it comes to Nigeria. It's America that is running the show for Nigeria. That's what Maiyegun, you know, Nigerians don't know. There's a place in Nigeria they call Escravos. Escravos. The people that operate there is Chevron America.
Have their own airfield. They have their own everything.
If you go,
God bless you.
If you go there, that place is like New York in the night. If you go there,
no lie,
it's like New York in the night. A lot of Nigerians don't know about that.
A lot don't know.
That is where
they just heard the name, and they know that Escravos is about oil. They don't know that they do not know.
General, I have been. When I went there, that's when I realized I think Nigeria is gone. So that was why they tacitly finished Jonathan and used Chipo's girl as the last truck that destroyed Jonathan. That was why they took out Jonathan and brought in Buhari. They knew Buhari was empty. So this is the game, and it's a serious game. Like people should understand this is a game. Another day, when I call in, I'll tell you about our constitution. This constitution, you people are saying that is Abdul Salami. It's not Abdul Salami. This is Abacha's constitution. Abacha did this constitution to rule Nigeria in perpetuity. It was Abacha's constitution. People have forgotten. Ojukwu was in that constitutional conference. In fact, let me tell you something. It was Abacha that sponsored Ojukwu's wedding in Abuja with Bianca. I rest my case here.
I think I remember that too. God bless you. The king. I hope I'm lucky next time again. Please keep trying. Don't ever give up on me. Okay? Keep trying.
God bless you. You're a good man. You are reported for duty. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I love that, and I know there are so many of us like that who have a lot to say, and we will never know if you don't share with us, right? So indeed, give me a second. So my line is still very much open, and we still have like 20 minutes to call it a night tonight. So thank you so much to every one of you who paid his own offering. Your offering is you liking the broadcast. And sometimes that's such a big ask from some of you, brethren. I do not know why it is such a big ask most of the time, but I think I'll keep reminding you. All you have to do is just leave the comment section for a second. Okay. And if you have liked the video, don't do it again, or else you're going to be taking your offering back. Right? Thank you. So again, my line is still very much open. Sometimes it can be it can sort of act up. Okay. But if you do try and you will be able to be part of this set tonight. And for some of us who, if you are on Facebook, right, there is a link to the PayPal. If you really wishes to reach out to, this family in Dubai, your message will be delivered, and indeed they will personally come out here to, to confirm that. So use the line. It is the only one I think I can really give out for now. There's no point in, there's no point in creating a different fundraiser that somehow may not really require a lot of, So what we want right now is to see what we can do temporarily, like what can be done, or any support that can be given temporarily, and maybe in the long run, when we have a chance of having other people who have other means of helping, apart from money or whatever. Okay, but this time around, I think the primary thing is that whatever we can put together, let's put that together. Okay, and it will be greatly appreciated. Meanwhile, there is a story which seems like I have kind of passed on, and that is the arrest of this guy. We do not know if the EFCC is really serious. They are charging him for 8 billion Nigeria Air. Are they joking? This guy stole over 80 billion, 86 billion on the last count for the issue of the Nigeria Air. Did we go to the airport upgrade that he said he was doing as well, and how much he stole? Or should we go to procurement when it comes to him buying one fire truck for 1 billion naira? Yeah, he did. He bought a fire truck for 1 billion for the Nigerian airport. He said he bought 14. All of these are just the last minute of clearing the whole the purse. So now they said they are charging him for 8 billion. Are they kidding me? Let's take this. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun General.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm all good, Maiyegun General.
I want to believe that this is you calling from Belgium, right?
No, I'm coming from Ireland.
Oh, it is Ireland.
It's Mazi Felix.
Felix, Baba. I'm so sorry, Felix. It is. I think it is the profile picture that got me confused, and the number 2. How are you doing tonight, Baba?
Oh, good. I'm good. Maiyegun General.
I've not heard from you.
Very well, Maiyegun General. I always follow. Maiyegun, I want to first of all thank you for good work you are doing. You are doing a great job. Great job you are doing. Yes. And I pray God to help you. More wisdom. More grace.
Thank you.
Happy to speak with you.
I know. It's a pleasure hearing from you, I said, right? But it's been a long night as well, if you must say. And yeah. It's good.
Thank you. So, in fact, I have many things to speak about. And let me just speak. For example, I've been following the last speaker who said that Bakari is the savior that we lost. My brother, for my own opinion, though, Bakari was evil that left.
He don't call her savior. No. He said he was the one holding it together. That didn't let it expose, as we later can see. And the moment he was out of the place, right? Then we also were after. But Baba, go on, Felix.
Thank you, sir. Baba. So, on my own opinion, if Tosaya Bakari was alive, Tinubu will not smell that seat.
Ever.
I believe that Tinubu will never smell it. It's Bakari that dead, and nobody again can hold Buhari. He said Buhari, because this one for me is not the real Buhari. But the real Bakari died, and those ones that are remaining, they don't have the power to stand against Tinubu. So they look and they give it to Tinubu because we cover their back, you know. That's why they have to give it to Tinubu because they don't want him to join the One Nation so that Nigeria will remain to get him to be cheating us. But no problem. No problem. God, we just continue your work and pray for us and one day, we will never know when it will happen.
It will. I think. I think it is just that they do not know how to cover a sort of the shame that the case of Nnamdi Kanu has brought upon them. So they just wanted him to say something they can hold on to so that they can say, okay, he promised us that he won't do this, he won't talk about Biafra again, so he can now live, so they can hold that as their win. So it's not giving them what they wanted him to give them. That will make them feel powerful or feel like they are in control of the situation. And they can't just open the door and say, yeah, go. So in all of this, I feel like they are in a dilemma and it's making things worse for them. But we are here. We're pushing.
Yes, Maiyegun, another thing again.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, it's like, you know these guys very well. That one more go. You know them very well. Like, for example, when you say, when they are persecuting themselves, you know that they are not doing it for the public. They're only doing it because his dog eat dog. When I hear you like this, I say you are preaching the gospel.
No, that's like, see, you know our people, right?
You know these guys very well.
And now you see one thing, Mazi, Felix, right? Our people, sometimes, what makes them happy? Because they believe that they do not have power to really deal with these people. So our people expect one single thing, and that thing is called karma. So they just believe that there's a natural justice. And when they see these people in distress, kind of, or in problem like Yeye Bello, to some people, yes, they're happy. Yeah, show them. He will go to jail. He's a thief. Thank you, Charade Tinubu. So I have to remind us that don't get entertained. Come on. Are you feeling entertained?
Thank you, sir.
This whole thing is not because of you. They are not going after thieves because they want to collect the money and give it back to you for your own development. No. So there's no point. But we can indeed look at them while they self-destruct. In the process, there's going to be a gap soon. That gap is where people will enter them. But when you see them going after themselves, don't celebrate.
Don't celebrate.
Just give them chance to expose themselves. So you can understand the level of damages they have done to you. So with that, you are not going to feel like one of them is being punished. Oh, he's now in jail. Oh, he's in court. Look at him. He's so gentle now. Oh, look at him. A once powerful man is now looking. Don't be stupid, man. All that is not for you. They are just so enjoy it while you watch. Because your time will come. Our time will come. Our time will come. Everything that will make us mad, angry, are the things we are now documenting. Our time will come. It will come.
Amen.
God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the week. Okay?
Thank you, Maiyegun. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Now that's Mazi Felix calling in from Ireland. Okay, and I do sort of mix them up. Which one is a Belgium? I've got the hang on +355 Ireland +353 or 52. What's that? So I do mix them up. Italy, Belgium, Ireland. Okay, I'm going to need to get some better sophisticated gadgets. It's going to tell me where you're calling from. It's called caller ID something. And I'm going to invest in that. All right. So Martinelli said something earlier. Martinelli said when Maiyegun said he was going to do this for full time, and I think this was like a year and a half ago. Is he up to that now, Martinelli? Yeah, that was the time I decided to resign my job. so that I could have enough time for this, the family, and myself. But I am grateful to all of you and to God that this used to be a dream. You know, like a dream of I'm going to have my own space where I could like do a lot. I haven't really started because I haven't finished the place. All right. But yes, we have sworn to do this and do, I mean, you don't say anything that is worth doing at all, then it's worth doing well. And that is why I will spend my time to bring you quality conversations and not just some random nonsense talk, right? So thank you, but it's not been easy. Okay. Now I think I have to be more responsible. You don't want to probably wake up one day and say, Maiyegun, what about your studio? I said, no, I can't pay for it anymore. It costs me about £700 extra to run this place a month. And it's going to cost me more as we progress. It's here you get. I know that. That's something. And if you live in this part of the world, like if you live in this my part of the world, £700, that is not a tea party. It's not a tea or chicken change kind of, right? But some people living in England will still be like, lucky you. You have a £700 office in Glasgow. Come London. You'll be lucky to have a £2,500 office. That's why I live in Glasgow. So don't forget me. Don't think I'm that big man with big office. It is now an office with responsibility. The responsibility that was not there when I told you I was going to do this full time, remember? So now they see me and say, I'm not a big, it is very expensive to live a lifestyle, honestly. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun Diary Politico.
Yes, sir.
The place where despair is not an option.
It should never be.
Maiyegun.
Thank you. How are you tonight?
How are you doing, sir? I'm okay. I simply just want to talk about these dummies called Wale Edun and the other crazy CBN governor.
They call them. You remember that Muneru and Ambali?
Oh my God!
Remember that movie? There is another one, Aki and Popo. There are all these things. You say this and that, this and that, this and that. You could pair them. These guys are good pair. Edu and the Kadobi.
No, when I listen to these guys, I feel ashamed.
Honestly.
Like these are the people that actually are in charge of our economy. It's so pathetic. I was thinking these guys will come up with policies that will actually help the common man. Why am I even bothering myself? It's not even possible. I can't help anybody.
No, like you're a Yoruba. See, I'm a Yoruba man, right? Yeah. There's something still in me that accepts, that makes me believe about that, except when we actually just want to be part of the destroyers. Yes. Yorubas can make a difference with our expertise, education, exposure, and all the rest of that, right? If you remove the corruption of the system, we could actually make a difference policy-wise. But these guys, forget about education.
Look, if you look at every country, if you go to all these advanced countries, every one of them actually, they had people that actually are in other countries.
Yes, sir.
That brought in what they know. I'll use China as a case as an example.
Right.
When like 50 years ago, 30 years ago, China wasn't even on the map. What China simply did was that they had all their best, the best of them go to the United States, go to the UK, go to Germany, and these guys went to seek knowledge and brought them back into their country.
Indeed.
But if you don't have security in your country, those people are not going to come back. But while they're out there, China was actually building their country so that, was making the ground, fertile or better for these people to come in, so that if they come in, they can actually execute whatever it is they've learned out there.
For those needed knowledge to build a country, they were already building the structure, ready for them.
This is what I'm even going to. Look at Alex Oyema, this guy that had earpiece. The guy had some issues, he's trying to struggle because people were crashing their prices because he came into the market and all of that. A simple thing, just very simple. All you just need to do is call him together and like, look, we'll fight this guy too. The government will just call him and like, will fight them to anywhere. Because what you're doing is what will actually make the country proud. It's not even being proud. We actually give jobs to people. Everybody, look,
it's
I told people, I said,
it is.
I'm in the
Businesses
United
like
States.
that, they are the backbone of a struggling country like that of Nigeria. You could use them.
Yeah, I said,
as a
if I'm
going,
if I probably want to travel to Nigeria, I said, what I'm going to do is I'll buy a flight to the UK, then from the UK, then to Nigeria. And I'll be taking airpiece. I know from here, just because I want to connect to airpiece. You know, just because I want to connect to airpiece. Because, look, if you don't
patronage really
help
does
these guys,
matter. You are right.
When they talk about, look, Mike, when they talk about subsidy, people think subsidy is bad. And it's so stupid that they've actually reduced our educational system to a level where people cannot even reason. In the United States, if you're a farmer, if you're in the United States, if you're a farmer, you have tax incentives.
Yes.
There's tax deductions for you that you do everything literally for free.
Baba, I don't be America. You are in America. In America, they give incentives to farmers to go and grow a certain food.
Just go there.
They will tell them, can you please grow this particular food? The government of America will now pay them, subsidize them to grow that food. Nigeria.
Absolutely. Exactly. Now look at it. If you are now an employer, just employ maybe like 5, 10. The more people you employ, because there's not one thing you're doing. You're actually helping the government to put people to work.
Yes.
So automatically it brings down your tax. Automatically it brings down your tax. So if you cannot help your citizens to open up business, bring down the tax, give them tax incentives, subsidize whatever it is they want to do, there's no way nothing is going to prosper.
You know what Peter Obi said, right? You know what Peter Obi said as a businessman himself, right? He said something about if you want your people, if you want Nigerians, for example, right, to give back or to stay in Nigeria, you have to invest in them. But they did not understand what he meant when he said, you see, if you invest in them, for example, for all the small-scale businesses who are struggling, okay, and you decided to give them a bailout, you know them, not this corrupt one, or that the money is going to end up in their pocket too, right? Like the new government plan, okay, where I could approach and get 5 million, 10 million, 15 million for my business. So if I am a cake maker, for example, now, Baba, I'm a cake maker, and I have 4 people working with me. Economy is hard. I can no longer afford 4 of them. I sacked 3. I kept 1. Here you get the 3. They are no longer earning money. Therefore, you can't ask them for tax. So government is losing on those 3. But if you put money in my pocket, to keep those 3 plus 1, that's 4. Okay? Keep my business in a way with an interest-free kind of loan like that, right? And I keep all the 4 on the job. The 4 people are paying taxes. The more people are in work, the more money for government. But today in Nigeria, more people are out of job, right? And government is broke. That's why they are borrowing. Go on, Baba.
Look at China. I keep using China as a case study because that's the only country we could copy for now.
No, they are the real ones, that are practical ones that were at the back of before.
Yes.
And now here they are.
Exactly. Look at it like I think it was last week. They had a meeting with one of these US officials. She went to China, and what they were talking about, look out, this is what she went for. She said, China, they are making too many EVs. I'm talking about electric vehicles. They're making too many EVs, and they're trying to bring them into the United States. Can they slow down and don't make too many EVs? Because even Tesla, we're still struggling to even, have Tesla on the market. Now you want to bring in your own product. But this is what I'm trying to say now. You know what China did?
What?
They subsidized. If you say you know how to produce EV, they give you virtually everything. Virtually everything. It is literally, and if you're going to even buy an EV from any of the car store, it is cheaper than you could ever think.
I know. Because that's what
so
they do.
the only way
China tried to do something that is cheaper and quality to some extent.
Exactly.
And they have improved on quality too, compared to when we used to hear about China, Chinese made.
Yes.
Majority of what we use now in the UK, they are made in China.
Yeah.
I live here.
Everywhere, virtually everywhere. Virtually everywhere.
Oh, I can say
so
this.
You cannot...
More than 70% of things you will find in our shops, stores, including designing shops that are like a brand, you will see made
the
in China.
iPhone we all
This
use
thing
is
was
from
made in
China.
Exactly.
The iPhone we all use is from China.
The phone,
So,
my phone is from China.
What are we talking about?
Samsung.
So, if this Tinubu that keep taking out subsidies, because these guys don't really, they're not smart. They're just not. They are just dumb. They are just not smart. They are just because
I don't think they are dumb. I think they are intentionally dumb to make it so.
No,
because they continue. No.
No. Look. It is so clear. Just as I said, listen to Wale Edun and Cardi B or what do you call it? Just listen to those guys. You should know these guys are not bright to just move anything. They can't even move anything on the table. You can't sit down with these United States and you're trying to tell them. They couldn't even convince me. How do you now want to convince these guys that have been in the market for a long time?
They don't want to convince you, investor. They just want to borrow them money.
How?
Borrow them money. That's all they need.
It's so terrible. I just looked at the whole thing. I listened to these guys. I was like, these are the people that actually represent. Yeah. They are representing Nigeria. These guys will finish. They will have these loan sharks around. They are ready to eat you guys up. You couldn't even produce. You can't even say anything reasonable.
Let me take one
it's horrible.
More and call it a night.
Thank you for your time.
Our time is really out now, but thank you very
sir.
much.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.
God bless you, Baba. That's a very good one. Indeed, there are those who look at these two clowns and they say to themselves, these guys cannot pitch anything for me that I will buy if I am an investor. And the Kadubia and the Wale Edu comes to pitch an idea. Like, would you buy? Charm?
Hello.
How are you tonight? I just have to take your call. Our time is completely out. You know that. We can still squeeze this in. We started late.
Let's squeeze this in.
Let's squeeze it in.
Please, I just wanted to ask a question regarding the previous two callers. I think it was Mazi Felix or the person before him. I can't remember.
Okay.
So,
do you remember what he said that prompted your?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Is he implying that Ojukwu is not highly credible? Is that what he's implying? Because he made mention of Abacha sponsoring Ojukwu's wedding with Bianca.
He was referring to their closeness. That's what I think he said. Like their connection and their, they are not really enemies, so to say. Just to say that, they're all kind of like, just think about that kind of. I'll probably be more curious for him to say more because he didn't really finish it.
He didn't really elaborate. I think I'm still trying to. Not I'm recovering, but I was saying to you the other day when we finished reading that's 2 days ago, not today. About what's his name? Namdi Azikiwe. Well, basically, he was a useful idiot. He was somebody who should have actually decided, let me go to jail instead of actually, doing things that's going to end up where his people will end up in this kind of situation that we're in, right? I'm not saying I'm not even saying that if he had decided, I would much rather go to jail instead of sell out like this. I'm sure they'll still have found somebody else to prop up.
Yeah, like all these things we are saying right now, he could also have been killed. That is,
he could also.
But he was a little bit lucky.
Yes, I think you. But lucky. But now you're reading all of this.
We see the generation after,
and then we're also exactly the generation after. Like at least somebody like me and the people who will come after me, who I'll tell, please don't take this person's
would never contributed to all this nonsense.
He never contributed to
responsible for those mistakes and all that. You have been profiled for it. I get you, John.
Exactly. So, and again, I don't want to belabor the point that everyone has made. It's such a what you're doing is so critical because a lot of people need to have that information. Today we saw lots of people, crowds of people, sea of people. El Rufai was there saying, forgive him for whatever. And I'm like, if all of these people just, became angry all at the same time and pounced on all of these people, all of those people in that platform will disappear. Because you at least have 20 people to one person on that platform. And you're asking these people to forgive a criminal. That's part of the problem. And you said it time and time again, that part of the problem we have in Nigeria is that the current state we have in Nigeria rewards criminals, right? We don't have any facilities to capture them and put them away, which is something that we should be doing. And I think a lot of your callers have come in and have called in, and the more we hear, the more you read these books, which is all these historical books and everything, and the more we see the situation on ground, right? I'm going to be very honest with you. There was a point in time I was thinking that, yes, at some point, things are going to change, things are going to happen. Something
a lot of people, I used to be like that. You know something, Charm, right? Majority of us who are shouting, break it up today, we used to be pro-Nigeria. We used to feel like it is a situation that could be fixed. So that's why when I see people today...
No.
No, I'm just saying it like generally now. That people like us used to kind of believe, right? That situation, okay, now the situation could be redeemed until we found out that it was actually programmed to be like this. It's either you dismantle it completely or you renegotiate it entirely, or you can't keep it this way anymore. So when people now come around and begin to say, you know what, it's just that, I just feel like, you know what, it's how you feel. That's fine. Feel like that one day, you will stand up and say, break it up too. I've seen a lot of people who used to say, you this Maiyegun, shut up your mouth, Charade. You're just making all this noise. No. Today, you come back here to say, Maiyegun, we're supposed to break up this country. I say, oh, really? Okay. Welcome to the party.
Yeah. You see all of these things that you said. I like the word that you use, program. There's just that word program is exactly what is happening here in Nigeria. Because it is not even about the politicians. It's about all the outside influence. All the outside influence that have this interest in that particular region, have interest in the unseen fingers, the unseen hands. Because you say you want to cut off the strings and the puppet. Is it not when you see the hands that you know where the string is and you say, okay, let me cut it off? But there's so many interests. Like the previous caller that stated how David Axelrod was the one who sort of kind of like put what's his name, Buhari, together and sold him. Now, David Axelrod is also the person who worked on Obama's campaign, right? So you can see all of this outside interest and things like that. And don't get me wrong, Obama was not. When you now read about Obama today, you know that Obama was not a good president. Forget about that he was a black person and everything. I think that's about the size of it. He was not good for the black community in any way, shape, or form. Generally, and I think he was one of those people that came to Buhari to say to him about LGBTQ and this and that. And I think he was like, that's not what we're talking about at the moment. Selling all of this.
Jonathan fell into a lot of trap. That's one of them. He confidently told the ambassador it will never happen in Nigeria, and they held him to it. He didn't say he said it will never happen in Nigeria. And they were like, are you sure? He said, no, it will never happen in Nigeria. And he was only trying to be honest with them concerning the type of people here. I mean, that place.
Exactly.
Now, but they will never forgive him.
They will never forgive.
They never forgive him for it anyway.
Well, I mean, it's not like anybody, unless Tinubu, who is seeking for who is seeking for legitimacy, will decide to get. But knowing that. Sorry.
I said that one will do it gladly.
Exactly. As long as he's able to gain legitimacy by doing anything that they want, right? He will do whatever they want. So these are, for me, I think all of the things that we see, all of this unseen influences, unseen, hands that want to ensure that the country is just exactly the way it is. I feel like there's still a whole lot. Although the work that you do is very critical, right? But there's still so much that we still need to do. The educating the people in general. And I don't even know whether that education is enough, because it almost seems like, even if somebody rises up, we're not even sure the quality of that person. We have to kind of double check. Okay, is this person sincere? Is this even now when you talk about Obi? I like Obi, I'm not going to lie. But with all of the things that you see in general with regard to the politics and the people in politics in general, it makes you really, really wary, doesn't it?
Yeah, like
You know,
if you really want to be honest with yourself, I'm not trying to kind of sugarcoat anything. Being honest simply means, this is a dark cloud. And there's nobody that can actually really drown me, sort of dive through it the way they are saying.
I don't know how we're going to do it, Maiyegun, but something needs to shift, you know. You keep saying it, you're very, for somebody who is there, you say, you give us all of this information and everything. You're still very optimistic. And then sometimes I'm listening to you and I'm like,
we will.
There must be something that.
Now, let me tell you this again, Charm. Okay, let me tell you something. All right. The only thing that is in a way delaying us, okay, is the fact that some of us haven't really gone radical yet, or some of us we haven't seen the real motivation to to take it a bit further. Some of us have this dark one inside of us that is matching, that will be very, very much matching with the darkness of these people. Do you understand what I mean, right? In us, we carry the light. Our light glows. But they, who happen to be much like a cloud, a dark cloud all over, on us. So what Yoruba calls, if you haven't, take a grip of that, of the cutlass, so to say, of a sword. Until you take a grip of a sword and in your hands, right? Do not go out there and ask or trying to investigate what caused your old man's death. There are some of us who know what to do. But you know what the problem is that a lot of us are yet to be exposed to the needed resources. Not just that. Some of us are still yet to be radicalized or discovered. A lot of people are speaking to their inner self right now and trying to to discover themselves like, what role do I think I can play in all of this? Yeah. We will get to that stage. And it's going to happen very fast. The reason why it's going to happen very fast is that now that very fast could be like, years. Okay. It's not like that fast, right? But at the same time, right? When the time is ripe, Charm, oh my God, I want to see you there and you will live long enough to witness it. When the time is ripe, you will feel it. Your entire system, your entire body will feel it and say, something is happening. You will see it.
My children keep saying to me, Mommy, why are you always joining this call? I said, I'm joining this call. I'm joining this platform because of you. Yes, and I've always said it. I don't want them to live here. Not because here is bad or anything, but I feel like they can.
It shouldn't be the only option they have.
It should
That's
not
what
be
we want
the
to make sure for our own children. They have an option. My children can live in the UK. They can live in the US. I can move them to Canada, anywhere in the world, right? Whether now or later in my life. Okay, but I do not want to make this here as their only option, only to be reminded, God knows when we are long gone. Who knows what will happen? To go back to where they come from.
Absolutely.
So we do not want them to have this space as their only option.
My God will bless you for that. Amen. Because a lot of times people don't understand that these people is just language, English. They will speak English and they'll send all of us back home.
Yes, it won't be the first time.
It will be the first time. It will be the second. They've done it before. They will just take up second generation, first. They will send everybody back.
Yes.
And they will go back home to where? A country that you cannot.
They can't even locate by that time anymore. They may not be able to even locate this Nigeria anymore. Then you get that now.
Exactly.
So yes, we are doing this for them, and that is why we can't give up. We will be long gone, and they will be here. And I wish we would look back and see if we fail now, so that we can look back and be like, we should have listened to Maiyegun then, Sha. Look at my children. But we won't be able to look back. But they will always have us in their hearts and say, oh, my dad, my mom. See, Charm, we have done well tonight. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Maiyegun. God bless you for your work.
Amen. God bless you. Take it easy, okay? I will see you some. Oh, we'll talk again. You have a good one.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Thank you.
So that's a Charm there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to bed. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, every one of us. I'm going to see you some other time. Until then, just take it easy and never stop watching Maiyegun. Good night.
dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ láwọn tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá